starts right now.
Welcome to the Whitworth Pine Bowl, where fans are getting down and cozy for this one. It's a crisp fall afternoon, and it's a big one as the Northwest Conference title comes down to this game, as expected, Whitworth versus Linfield. Alongside Mike Peterson, I'm Sam Adams on this Saturday afternoon in Spokane. Thanks for spending this afternoon with us. And Mike, these teams were 1-2 last year, 1-2 in the preseason poll this year, and it all comes down to one football game.
Indeed it does. The winner of today's game is, rest assured, they're going to be the conference championship going to the postseason. So it's what everyone expected. It's a game I had circled on my personal calendar. Here we are.
Here we are. It's a date. And as often will happen this time of year, it's going to come down to the quarterbacks. Leif Erickson back in the lineup and looks to be closer to 100%. As he goes, so does this Whitworth offense.
Well, clearly the Pirates' one loss in conference is with Erickson on the sideline with that ankle injury, but he's recovered. He's had some eye-popping numbers. This team, offensively, for Whitworth, capable of going off for 70-plus points. I don't expect that today, but they're very explosive.
Eye-popping numbers, and then you look at Linfield's quarterback, Wyatt Smith, and those numbers are dwarfed by what he's done this year.
Well, and with Smith and this Linfield offense, it's eye-popping every week. This guy is third in the country in touchdown passes with 32 passes, and he's second in quarterback efficiency, over 200. If that's not eye-popping, I don't know what is. There's going to be a lot for this Whitworth defense to contain.
Eye-popping and could be a jaw-dropping game, folks, as Whitworth looks to win back-to-back Northwest Conference championships against a team that has had a stranglehold on this conference. When we come back, your kickoff live from the Pine Bowl. All coming up next. Folks, we're just about ready to get going here as Linfield will receive to start this football game. Linfield, which had a 23-game conference win streak, come to an end against these Pirates just a year ago. And here we go. We're going to return from the 7-yard line for the Wildcats out to the 30, and that's where Linfield will start this ball game under one of the most electrifying quarterbacks in all of D3 football. Wyatt Smith completing 71% of his passes so far this season. Over 2,300 yards, 32 touchdowns, and just 3 interceptions. And he has put up these numbers in a season where Linfield, I think, has its eyes on not only a Northwest Conference championship, but maybe something deeper and more meaningful. Mike, this team has been unstoppable
and consistent while they are being unstoppable.
First pass down the sideline, complete, and inbounds at the 47-yard line. That'll move the chains on a gain of 16. First grab of the game for the Linfield offense. That's the tight end, Jacob Kalo.
And look at the accuracy by Smith out of the blocks. And I mean, one play, chunk yardage, and look at the tempo with Linfield. This almost looks like a Whitworth pace as well. Whitworth likes to go up-tempo. Linfield has really started to go up-tempo as well.
And they go to the ground for the 2-yard pickup. Artie Johnson, who leads the team with 372 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns in the backfield. Second down and 8. Play action. Looking to go a little wobbler there. It is caught inside the 30, down at the 27-yard line. And it's Keegan Weiss, whose 11 touchdown grabs lead the Northwest Conference.
Very slow developing play on play action. All kinds of time. Credit the Linfield offensive line for that chunk yardage play.
So a big gain to move the chains. On the rollout, throw to the 20-yard line, caught. And that is right on the first down marker, and it will move the chains. Another look on the completion to Keaton Wood.
Well, that's just the flood route and see who's in the open space. Smith was looking downfield. It was covered. Nice check off, a couple extra yards. 3 passes, 3 first downs.
Boy, oh boy, this offense is clicking, folks. Empty backfield this time for Wyatt Smith. Smith to throw, underneath, caught. It's not enough for the first down. It's Colton Smith, the younger brother of Wyatt Smith, a true freshman, making that grab.
Things shrink in the end zone. You don't have as much space, but you'll take that on first down, a 5.5 yard gain. Second and very manageable. So you can treat this as 4-down territory at this point in the game.
2nd down and 5. Johnson, the blocking back, lob to the back of the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown. Colton Smith on a lob from Wyatt, the big brother, with his 33rd touchdown pass of the season to move to number 2 all time, and Linfield looked perfect on that offensive drive to start this ball game.
The freshman wide receiver, what a treat. You catch a touchdown pass from your junior quarterback, Smith to Smith. Bet the Smith family is celebrating a bit on that one.
It is a family affair. Their father, Joseph Smith, just happens to be the head coach. PAT is good. 7-0 in the blink of an eye. The Linfield Wildcats have drawn first blood.
And this is just a little fade route, a little hesitation. What I like about the route, it wasn't a direct sprint off the line of scrimmage. Little setup, a little juke, and then boom, bust to the back corner of the end zone. And at that point, just catch the ball and stay in.
My goodness, what a start for Linfield. Stunned silence here inside the Pine Bowl. You've got all the festivities, senior day, where the team celebrates its 22 seniors, all of that, and then you remind yourself why you're here, why you're playing, and you're going up against a team that is motivated, is angry, wants to reestablish itself as top dog inside this conference.
And what a statement on this first drive, and you're on the road, I should say, the way the schedule worked out, 2 consecutive years. And to just take the wind out of the sails on that first drive of this Whitworth crowd here on senior day.
This will be a short kick fielded at the 5. Braden Corona. Corona out to the 30. Corona to the 35 before he's brought down. A 31-yard return for Corona.
Well, Corona, Whitworth has all kinds of big players, including Corona. Might be their their top 1 or 2 big play players, and you could see a lot of him today. No hesitation, right up the gut, just busting his way through. A great field position for Whitworth.
Whitworth's first play on offense, Leif Erickson, contested pass, well defended there, and incomplete. As Tyler Sitton, the defensive back, got a hand on that one.
Not much of a throwing window for Erickson there on that first pass play, unlike what we saw with Linfield on their first pass play.
Pass was intended for Nick McGill. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. The running game, which has been ineffective as of late, trying to get that going. Corona, the carry there. You'll also see Isaiah Cole, a converted wide receiver who's coming off a 40-yard rushing performance against PLU. They're just looking for any help they can get.
So far, it has been all Linfield. We're early in the game, but they have come out of this locker room, opening kickoff, and they are on fire right now on both sides of the ball.
3rd down, 9 yards to go. They send Corona now out in the flat. Erickson taking a shot deep. It's overthrown and incomplete. McGill had a step on the defensive back, and it's a 3 and out for the Whitworth offense as a punting unit comes on the field.
That's a tough miss. Receiver was open. If that ball's on the money, that is a huge, big play. But as it is, harmlessly overthrown, and it's 3 and out. That was an outstanding move on the outside to set up the Linfield defender and bust by him. And we'll see what happens here on this punt now, Sam.
Alajado's punt. That might have touched a Linfield player, and it did not. And it's downed at the Wildcat 12-yard line. That's where Linfield will take over for its second offensive possession. Don't go anywhere, folks. It's a fight for the Northwest Conference title between Whitworth and Linfield. Put a dealers.
Well, we're featuring a couple defensive ends, and they are disruptive. Pressure off the edge. Both these players, 1 and 2 in the Northwest Conference in sacks. Mccoy leading and Thomas right behind him. They've proven they can bring it. They have quickness. They have multiple moves. Offensive line has to account for them on every play, and if you don't, they are going to make you pay.
Smith, a perfect 5 for 5 on that drive to start this game for 67 yards and a touchdown. It went 12 yards to younger brother Colton Smith from their own 12. Try to run it around the left side. Short gain there by Artie Johnson.
Sam, we talked about Smith's eye-popping numbers. Here's another one. He has averaged this year almost 11 yards per pass completion. He was every bit of that. He actually exceeded that on the opening drive. Throw a pass, get a first down.
Coming off a 5th straight week of being named the Offensive Player of the Week in the Northwest Conference. On the zone read, it's back to Artie. Johnson stuffed by the defense, gains 2 more. Maybe a yard and a half.
This is a huge down right here for the Whitworth defense because they just got smoked, as we all witnessed on that first drive. Offense comes back 3 and out. Whitworth defense needs a 3 and out here to get some life back into this Whitworth Pirate team.
Let's look at Gunnar Swanek and this defense. Gunnar had a 56-yard interception return for a touchdown last week. 3rd down, 5 yards to go. Smith out of the shotgun. Smith under pressure, steps up in the pocket, and now on the run, and brought down. Calais Wong, playing his last game on the Pine Bowl turf, makes the stop.
And first look at this, it looks short, but we may have our first measurement here, Sam.
Initial indication is it may be short. Hard to tell from our vantage point. And they will bring out the chain gang to measure. Boy, this is big. Like a game of inches.
And it's the right read by Smith, but what you have is Wong there. He's in the spy position defensively, and I mean, he's as good a tackler in the open field as there is. And look at that effort by Wong. That tackling ability, 3 and out.
That's a big stop. It's good. It's short by a good 6 inches or so. So for the first time, Linfield's punching unit will come on the field. That's a big stop for the Pirates.
That's what a West Coast All-American tackle looks like, folks, in the open field. I tell you, any lesser effort, Smith's going to get a first down on that. Whitworth has excelled overall every aspect of special teams.
Spiraling punt, fair catch signaled at the 39-yard line by Taylor Kolsten. That's where the Woodward Pirate offense will start this drive. Good position for the Pirates to start this drive.
Yeah, and I thought it might even be better position, but a booming punt with all kinds of hang time. All Kolsten can do the smart thing. Fair catch and secure the ball, but very nice field position for Whitworth.
It will be Isaiah Cole in the backfield this time. Isaiah with 40 yards on 5 carries against PLU last week. He sprints out immediately as if he's a receiver. Pass caught on the near side, past the 40-yard line. Short gain, maybe 2 yards to Nick McGill. First completion of the day now for Leif, who has found 15 different receivers this year. 10 of those receivers have scored touchdowns this year.
And he's going to need to use his entire receiving posse today against this Linfield defense. Last 3 games, Sam, this Linfield defense, 5.6 points per game in the last 3 games. Amazing.
Play action to Cole. Lays pass. Oh, receiver wide open. It was Kolsten.
And there's 2 chunk yardage plays where Erickson has failed to hit the open receiver, the over the top on the first drive. And that's not only going to be a catch, that's going to be a catch with yards of daylight in front of you.
No wind to speak of. For this time of year, great weather. Had a little bit of precipitation to start the day, but cloudy skies, but no precipitation and little wind to speak of. 3rd down, 8 yards to go. Plenty of time again. Erickson threading the needle, hit as he caught it, and he hangs on to the football. My, oh my, what a grab by Taylor Hall.
And Ramsayer Burdett at safety comes in and just lights him up. And you see that's clean, led with the shoulder. That was not targeting, and just a heck of an effort by both players. I don't know how he held on to that one. He got lit up.
To the 45-yard line, as now the Pirates are in Linfield territory for the first time. That pass going 14 yards to pick up the first down. And now it's Cole up the middle. He's got some room. Isaiah Cole down the sideline. Inside the 30, and they'll have a late flag coming in. Some more yardage coming Whitworth's way. Right now it's down at the 31.
So there's 2 flags. So the initial flag, I think we have a live ball and dead ball. We'll sort it out. But I thought I saw a hold out there on the edge.
I see it now, Mike. You're right,
and
towards the area of holding.
Which, and then depending on that late flag, which is dead ball, both of these will be administered if you have live ball, dead ball. Live ball first, dead ball second. And if that wasn't a hold with that flag laying there on the 40-yard line, then my eyes have failed me.
And how about Isaiah Cole, regardless, trying to breathe life into this running game? There's Rod Sandberg getting the explanation. A little look of disbelief from Coach Sandberg.
And again, we don't know yet if it's live ball, dead ball, but if it is, there's just more to talk through administratively if you're the officiating crew.
What a job Rod Sandberg has done here in his 6th year, bringing Woodward to the pinnacle of the Northwest Conference.
There are 2 fouls on the play.
Year.
Holding on the offense, number 6, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. At the end of the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, number 6 in the defense. 15-yard foul. Results automatic first down.
Okay, so it's not quite the big gain that Whitworth had hoped for, but still the penalty yardage on the dead ball is huge.
Yeah, and you can see that hold on the outside. That was
that's
the
a real
initial.
Good job
yeah,
of acting there too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to sell it. I mean, if you're being held, you have to. You can't just play through it. Sometimes you got to let the official know.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Do a little soccer. Throw some drama in there. See if you can't draw a flag.
It worked.
Soccer drama goes to the football field.
That's Kiel Davis, the senior safety. Throw out to the 20-yard line. Caught. Back inside. Still on his feet to the 10. Taylor Kolsten with a big gain, and the Pirates are at the 10-yard line.
Erickson scanning the field, quick release, hits the open man, and look at the ability to get yards after catch and yards after contact. So Whitworth's first trip to the red zone.
Pirates first and goal from the 10. Kolsten back pylon, tiptoeing, touchdown Pirates! Jerusalem To'o with the catch, and the Pirates are in the promised land with a touchdown with a PAT pending.
To'o did the toe dance on the sideline. That was oh. If you're Linfield defense, what a beautiful catch and toe dance there at the side of the end zone.
Leave it to a guy with the last name To'o to get his toes inbounds for the grab. And we are tied up at 7. Whitworth's offense has woken up against Linfield. A tightrope affair for the Northwest Conference Championship. Was he in or was he out? Another look at the catch by Jerusalem To'o.
We know the catch was Clayton. You can see right there with the left foot. You can see black between the white sneaker and the white boundary. From that one initial view, that looks good to me. A little bit of toe dancing by To'o. Double toe tap on that one, Sam.
Yep. Game of inches.
What a great name for a wide receiver.
What a great break for Whitworth too. What a great turn of events. They needed that one, and we've got ourselves a ball game.
Well, what do heavyweights do to each other? One lands a punch, the other comes back with a punch of their own, and we're back even here.
Got a return out from the 1 yard line this time. Oh! My goodness. Whitworth, which just looked downright flat to start this game, is now playing with its hair on fire.
Amazing what a 3-and-out on D does. Take great field position, convert it into a spectacular touchdown catch, and that inspires your special teams. So, tell you that last sequence, it was defense, then offense, and we start with a special teams play here.
That was, I'm going to have to check. I believe that was the case where we had a double number. So that's Derek Platt, who's wearing number 31. New number for him, and it fits him just fine. Typically wears number 23. So Platt makes the stop. Meanwhile, little fight to get extra yardage. Going to be close. And the completion to Keaton Wood. Wood making his second grab, and it does move the chains. He's got 2 catches for an even 20 yards.
Smith, a perfect 6 for 6 so far. 4 different receivers spreading the wealth, as with Erickson, 4 different receivers.
Smith to throw again. Caught by Kolten. Smith to Smith for a gain of 5.
Whitworth now playing a little more conservative with that blanket defensive back zone look, but there's a lot of yardage on those short ones, a lot of green for Smith to operate in. He's going to go long
Blitz
here.
coming. He's taking a shot downfield. It's incomplete. It was intended for Smith.
Pretty well covered. That is a ball traveling that distance. That is such a tight window to try to throw into. Just very well defended.
And Bryce Hornbeck on the defensive coverage there, coming off his best performance yet. 2 interceptions he had. 3rd down. 4 yards to go. Artie Johnson is the running back. He'll be the blocking back here. Pass caught. A yard past the first down. Colton Smith, another grab.
Smith to Smith. What do you think they do in the offseason? Your brothers, you have probably been throwing a Nerf football to each other since you were probably 4 or 5 years old. That was just a timing route.
I think off season you'll see a lot of Smith to Smith, and I'm sure they've been doing that for about 18 years or so.
Well, and the quarterback is a junior, the wide receiver a freshman, so another year of this conference looking at this combo.
Throw over the middle, well contested. It is complete.
And unless the ball was bobbled, and I'd have to see it on a replay, the initial catch was near the first down mark, but if the ball was bobbled, then the forward progress goes away. That looked like possession initially to me.
Yeah.
That's a missed spot in my opinion.
Kalo made the catch. Zach Hillman, the senior defensive back out of Post Falls, Idaho, on the stop.
It's where
Whitworth showing blitz here on the edge here, Mike.
Yes, they are pressuring it up, but it's again on a spot. It's where you have possession and your forward progress, not where you end up hitting the ground on a tackle that takes you 2 yards back.
Second down, 2 yards to go, and this play whistled dead. Timeout taken by Linfield. It's first.
And Wong on the outside was
First charge timeout of the half. That's a 30-second timeout.
so close to jumping that count. And the timeout may have actually saved Whitworth a 5-yard offsides penalty. That was close.
Calais Wong having another standout year. Preseason third-team All-American according to D3Football.com. 41 tackles this year, leads the team. 3 forced fumbles, leads the team. He's also got 2 interceptions. Calais Wong, number 20. He has been a disruptor throughout his career here at Whitworth.
And how important was his open field tackle to get that 3 and out for against Linfield so that the Whitworth offense could come back and tie this thing up 7-7. And that was not a gimme open field tackle. Sound defensive player. Just sound coaching both sides today.
Second down, 2 yards to go after the Linfield timeout. 5:44 to go here in this first quarter. 7-7 ball game. Rush coming. Smith up in the pocket on the run. And he will be short by a yard of the first down marker.
That's where that spot on that earlier catch I was talking about really comes into play, because even if it wasn't at the line to gain, it would have been about a half yard away. So this play, instead of being a first down, ends up being 3rd and half a yard to go.
Artie Johnson is the tailback. Loudest we've heard the Whitworth crowd yet. 3rd and a yard to go. Whitworth trying to make another defensive stand. They run the option this time to Johnson on the outside. He'll pick up the first down and finally brought down inside the 45, down at the 43. So Artie Johnson on the option carry picks up the first down for the Wildcats.
Well, you can see Whitworth, they're stacking it between the tackles, A gap, B gap. Nothing there, but smartly pitched the outside edge open, and there's your first down. Nice downfield blocking, too.
11 yards on the carry. Now a little shovel pass. Almost got gobbled up initially by the Whitworth defense. It was Mason Mix who got his arms around him but couldn't bring him down. He's able to get beyond the line of scrimmage.
That initially was going to be about a 3-yard loss, and after first contact, able to manage positive yardage on that.
So it's kind of a screen, but with a shovel pass.
Yep, the inside shovel screen to your running back. That's exactly what it was, Sam.
Second down and 8 after a short gain of 2. That could have been a loss. Smith rolling out. He's got a receiver wide open to the 10-yard line. And in for the touchdown, Keegan Weiss. His conference-leading 12th touchdown of the season. Linfield has retaken the lead.
Weiss has been the big play guy in the receiving core all year, and there you see it again. That was a busted coverage because it was a cover 2. And you'll watch this. This is a cover 2, and you see the safety here on the defensive right side. Eyes down, looking inside and looking mid-range, and did not see Weiss bust deep into the outside. That was a busted coverage, and I'll tell you, Smith is going to take full advantage of a busted coverage.
The PAT from Andrew Starkel is good. Linfield up by 7. 40-yard touchdown pass from Wyatt Smith to Keegan Weiss, number 34 on the season for the Northwest Conference's top QB. It's 14-7. Look at the beautiful campus here at Whitworth. Fall is here, and before you know it, snow will be on the ground. It'll be a winter wonderland, but we're enjoying temperatures right now in the 50s. Feels downright balmy right now, Mike.
I'm loving it. For November, you'll take it here in the Northwest, especially in the Northwest.
Return from the 7 for Corona. Braden Corona, who had a 31-yard return on his previous kickoff. Stopped short of the 30-yard line. this time. Linfield marching down the field in 3 minutes and 51 seconds on its last possession. 9 plays, 83 yards, 40 of which came on the Wyatt Smith touchdown pass to Keegan Weiss. So now it's up to the Pirate offense to answer. A Pirate offense that has been among the nation's best in Division III scoring, but has struggled over its last 3 games.
Yeah, it's just not the same offense production-wise that we saw in those first 4 games, and not very productive on that run for negative yardage on first down.
Corona bottled up for a loss of 1. Now 2 yards on the indication.
Corona bottled up with a Linfield lime on top on that last run.
I see where you're going there, Mike. It's the guy whose name's Samuel Adams. I saw that one coming from a mile away. 2nd down and 12. Throw off the back foot. That's dangerous, and it's intercepted at midfield. This one's coming back. Good return inside the 30, down at the 29-yard line. As Tyler Price, the sophomore, gets the interception.
Coming out of his cut, and by the time he got back up, he's staring at an interception. You're just sitting back there in center field defensively. That made it easy when Meredith fell down. Just catch and run.
And I beg your pardon, that's Bergeron. Tyler Bergeron with the interception.
That wasn't necessarily a missed throw or inaccurate, but that would have been throwing a double team. But when your receiver falls down, it's just, you got no chance.
Carry up the middle, Artie Johnson down inside the 15. That's coming after a 19-yard return by Bergeron. It's the 6th interception thrown by Erickson this year. He had 8 last year against 27 touchdown passes. Again, up the middle. Nowhere to run this time for Artie Johnson.
Whitworth's defense, very opportunistic in ball hawking, both in terms of forcing fumbles and coming up with interceptions. So this is a situation here with Linfield making another trip to the red zone. Big play needed by the Whitworth defense.
Loss of 1, 2nd down and 11 from the 15. They're running the reverse here. Snipped out very nicely by the Woodward defense, but still able to get positive yards is Keegan Weiss, who had to do it on his own there. He was dead to rights in the backfield.
Nifty running by Weiss. We saw that earlier on the shovel screen where a -3 yard ended up +2. That would have been about a -4, ended up a +4. Right there, that cutback, missed open field tackle, gets past the pursuit. That is one heck of an effort.
Charlie Ball wished he could have that one back. He had him. 3rd and 7 from the 11. Timeout coming in now. Whitworth will expend its first timeout.
And that's head coach Rod Sandberg, who was a defensive coordinator at Wheaton before he came here, so very defensive minded. He's the one that came down, called that timeout. Not liking what they saw with Linfield's offensive set.
And again, defensive-minded head coach that has put the offensive playbook in the hands of Alan Stanfield, and offense has really taken off. But Rod Sandberg's fingerprints are all over this football program.
And he is such a father figure to his players, a remarkable individual. And I'll tell you, same goes with Coach Smith on the other side. When you've got head coaches that are father figure type figureheads, and that carries over your coaching staff and the players, no surprise to me to see 2 teams like this that execute well, play with respect, and are just very class programs.
The head of the class going head-to-head here for nothing less than the Northwest Conference title. 3rd down, 7 yards to go. Linfield from the Whitworth 11, leading by 7, trying to take a 2-touchdown lead. Wyatt Smith, who has thrown for 34 touchdowns this season, looking for number 35. Little shovel pass, just got it off, and a walk into the end zone for Artie Johnson. My goodness, timing is everything, and I don't know how Wyatt Smith was able to flick that football away at the very last second.
A bit of deception and trickery. That was a little flip, like you'd see a second baseman to shortstop. That was from the hip. I guarantee you none of the linebackers or defensive secondary players saw that. And we do have a Whitworth player down. And I just waltz into the end zone.
Very, very well executed, but play design is one thing, Mike. The execution from Wyatt Smith and Artie Johnson to be able to make that catch in traffic. He had two defenders who had swallowed him up.
Yes, exactly. The pass split the defenders, leaving, watch this. He split 4 defenders, right? That was like a gauntlet of Whitworth Pirate players, 2 on both sides, and he splits both sides of the gauntlet. And then it's off to the races. You just take 4 players out defensively with that kind of execution.
That's about as well executed play you'll ever see.
I don't know if I've ever seen a pass like that, splitting 4 defenders. You'll see it split in 2, maybe 3. 4 defenders, 2 on each side. Whoop, there's the ball, one downfield block, and it is sprint into the end zone. Good news here, we see him getting up and walking off the field.
That's Charlie Ball. So Ball walking gingerly.
Yeah, he's been a mainstay on this defense, had a sack in last year's victory against Linfield, and Whitworth needs his presence out there.
Ball part of that defensive front. Him and Andrew McCoy. Then you got Kale Wong and Gunnar Swanik, linebackers. Boy, oh boy. Linfield with a touchdown pass from 11 yards out. Smith to Johnson. Point after is good. 21-7 Linfield late in this first quarter. 3rd touchdown pass of the quarter for Wyatt Smith brings his conference leading total to 35 now on the year.
Points off turnovers. I tell you, it plays in different sports as well. Now that basketball is upon us, it's a stat you always see during basketball games. It is perhaps even more important in a football game because of those momentum shifts you get in the game of football.
Well, Mike, how about Wyatt Smith? We talk about that connection, the family affair, but how about as far as the record books go, that Smith is now moved past Aaron Boehm for number 2 on the all-time list, who happens to be the co-offensive coordinator at Linfield.
And the key word there is co-offensive coordinator. Boehm set the mark 33. This is in a season. 33 touchdown passes in a season. That was in 2009. Smith is now at 35 on the season. But fellow offensive coordinator Brett Elliott, 61 TD passes in a season in 2004.
So do the math on that, Mike. You have 33 and 61. 94 touchdown passes between those two co-offensive coordinators. This is Isaiah Cole on the return for Whitworth. He gets stuffed it. And now a late hit perhaps coming in. Audible boos coming from the crowd here in Oz as well. But how about that? You have Boehm and Elliott, your co-offensive coordinators.
Yeah, and so 61 and 33, 94. And by the way, those are single season records. I mean, Elliott, 61 TD passes. That's a career for a lot of quarterbacks. He did that in one season. Those that follow, we'll hear the refs here, but those that follow AFL football.
Defensive play, personal foul, late hit, number 13 in the defense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
Fans will. Elliott was a mainstay in arena football for years, one of the top AFL quarterbacks, and we had a chance to see him here when he's with the Shock. So very well covered by Linfield, but just got a little too edgy and a little throw down on the end, and giving Whitworth nice field position.
We'll start from their own 43. Erickson able to get the throw off. He was about to get blindsided. Mike, just to wrap up your point too about Elliott, did you hear the news? Spokane Shock are coming back to the indoor game.
Another Sam Adams, the Seahawks Sam Adams. We got all kinds of Sam Adams here.
Our third Sam Adams reference of the day.
So Sam Adams, the Seattle Seahawks Sam Adams, he owns the Spokane Shock, and he is resurrecting arena football here in Spokane.
Be playing in the Indoor Football League next year. New expansion team. Trying to run around the end. Here is Isaiah Cole. Be negative yardage for Cole on that carry. It's going to be a loss of 4 yards. Boy, a play that just never developed.
And all kinds of room working to the wide side of the field, but it just, Linfield defense strings it out. Next thing you know, can't catch the edge, and it's another negative yardage play for this Linfield defense.
Pirates with now 2 net yards rushing. This one is caught, and it's past the first down marker. Taylor Hall with the grab.
Hall, if you remember, over the middle took that, held on to the ball on that key third down, and just got blasted. This guy is tough over the middle. And I'm wondering if perhaps a timeout was called prior to the snap, because you've got the side referee coming in, and almost looks like he was killing the play. We'll let the ref sort this out, but at first glance, I think might have had a timeout called by Linfield.
There is no foul for illegal substitution. Timeout was called prior to the play. That's the second charge timeout.
Heads up by the coaching staff, because with the illegal substitution, it's like, nope, we need to save the penalty here. We can't give Whitworth any free yardage or momentum. That's a good time to burn a timeout.
Another look now on the 15-yard completion from Erickson to Hall. And Erickson looking better here on this possession.
Hall, I tell you, that's I love that, because once you go over the middle once, and I played receiver, and you get blasted, it does plant a seed in the back of your mind, and mentally you just have to flush it, and you got to give yourself a double dose of toughness, go over the middle again, and Hall did just that. So I applaud him to coming back from that big hit and making another key catch.
Erickson right around his season average of 54% on completions. He's 5 of 10 for 64 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 4-man rush coming from Linfield. They'll run a double pass. Receiver wide open to the 20-yard line. Now it's a foot race into the end zone. Touchdown, Pirates. McGill makes the grab on the double pass, and it's back to a 1-touchdown game. It was Kolsten who threw it. And that one goes 46 yards to McGill.
When that play first developed, and I'm looking right down the yard line as we're watching this PAT, I could see the ball was passed backwards, which triggered me to say we probably have the trick play on. And I tell you, Linfield bit. And there's your PAT.
Otto with the PAT, and it's back to a 7-point game.
And you can only have 1 forward pass. So look at this. That clearly, it's a backward pass by about 1 yard. And then just lay it out there. And my goodness, so well done.
The safety, Dustin Ramsire-Burdett, was rolling over to try to cover up for the defensive back who bit. Too little, too late. 46 yards. Kolsten to McGill on the touchdown.
Well, we've seen a lot of Kolsten TD passes in the past, Sam. This one just happened to be from the wide receiver, Kolsten. Brother Ian Kolsten was actually the quarterback a few years ago that got Whitworth into the playoffs. So the Kolstens continue to make an impact here with the Whitworth Pirate program.
And Mike, it comes against a defense that had coming into this contest given up a total of 17 points in its last 3 games. They've given up 14 through a quarter.
Yeah, 5.3 points per game in the last 3 games. And already, as you say, Sam, and they are offensive touchdowns. We're not talking defensive and special teams. These are offensive touchdowns against the stellar Linfield defense.
Kick is away. This will go out of bounds just barely by a foot. It's a bad break for the Pirates and a good break for Linfield.
Yeah, nice field position for Linfield.
So the Wildcats will get this at what, the 35-yard line?
35-yard line. Rule used to be 40, and then they changed it a while back. It's now the 35-yard line, which I think 5 yards doesn't mean a lot, but in both cases, it's good field position.
You kind of like it, though, right? I mean, risk reward. You know, you do a little bit of an up kick out of bounds, or you try to throw the kick return team off just a little bit.
Well, I agree, and especially it's so much more difficult to execute an onside kick with the new rules. Let's at least give special teams a little bit of a rules favor here.
Pass completes. Good chunk of change as this one goes 15 yards up to the 50 for Keaton Wood.
Yeah, Whitworth defense playing soft, but you don't want to get beat over the top. So that's just an easy pitch, catch, put on a little move, and just keep driving forward and get a first down. So another, 13, 14 yards.
Like a matchup to watch out for here as the first quarter gets ready to draw to a close. Number 3, Andrew Mccoy. Very quiet so far for the Pirates. Has not been able to get to the quarterback yet. Roll out here. Tiptoeing the sideline. We'll get positive yardage with 4 seconds to play before the end of the first quarter.
Well, and also defensive scheme. Whitworth normally goes with a 4-man front, just like Linfield does defensively. That play you saw a 3-man front, 8 drop in coverage. Guess who dropped back in coverage from the D-line? Mccoy. He's playing some linebacker.
We've got 2 real McCoys going head-to-head here this afternoon at the end of one quarter of play. It is Linfield 21, Whitworth 14. High-scoring shootout between 2 of the nation's premier offenses. Northwest Conference title hangs in the balance at the Pine Bowl. Welcome back to the Pine Bowl. Linfield with the football at midfield. Sam Adams, Mike Peterson. Northwest Conference Championship effectively will be won today between the winner of this game, Linfield and Woodward. There was movement in a 7-point game as we begin the second quarter.
71 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Sam, something I would like to point out, because we featured Mccoy in as far as impact players, but there's so many impact players on both teams, but right now, Ian Black, a linebacker for Whitworth, number 19, already has 6 tackles in just 1 quarter. Project that.
This is Artie Johnson. Johnson having himself a day. Before that carry, 6 carries for 32 yards. This one gets a good chunk down to the 44-yard line in Woodward territory.
McCoy was half a step away from about a -4, -5-yard play and just could not quite get there.
Wyatt Smith has missed just once so far. 13 of 14 throwing the football. He'll throw it here on a rollout and caught at the 40-yard line, and it will move the chains on the forward progress.
Well, what do you do on 3rd and short or 3rd and have to convert? You go to your bro. Go to younger brother.
He's been the go-to so far today. That's his 5th catch. He's got now almost 35 yards on those 5 catches. They have been short, but he's been a good safety valve.
Yeah, he had that first touchdown of the day and then a couple key third down catches.
There's a 15th completion now on 16 attempts. These haven't been, like air raid offense, tunnel screens and bubble screens. These have been not necessarily high percentage. They've been high percentage throws, but not gimmies.
No, they're not. It's not the dink and dunk variety where it's just throw the ball and most of the passing yardage really is off the feet of your receiver.
Because everything that he throws is high percentage. There's a bottle up. Initial contact for the Pirate defense by 46. Fulkins, and then 19 Ian Black, who's been a one-man wrecking crew, finishes it off.
Look, initial contact low, wrap up the legs, and then Black finishing off up top, and heck of a play. And Black is just roaming all over this football field defensively today.
3rd down and 9. Smith with an audible here. Rush coming. Smith under pressure, throws and incomplete. Had to get rid of the football. He had a receiver in the area, no intentional grounding. Boy, that pass rush dialed up at just the right time.
Yeah, you want to get to Smith, make him throw incompletions, get pressure so he's got no one to throw to and just has to throw it away, which he smartly did. And I thought perhaps Linfield, with this offense and passing game, might go for it on 4th down, but they're saying, nope, we're going to punt, try to pin you, and let the defense take over.
This will be Colton Ramos, who has double duty as a place kicker and punter on this team.
Whitworth has had a knack this year for making big special teams plays.
Fair catch signaled at the 5. That's a wise choice there. And that's where Whitworth will take over. 95 yards to go to tie this one up. 21-14 Wildcats. Welcome back to the Pine Bowl. Early in the 2nd quarter, Pirates starting this drive from their own 5, trailing by 7. Leif Erickson. His last pass was a double pass for a touchdown. This one complete over the middle. And another hard hit, but hanging onto the football. Everything is contested here today for the Pirates. Good grab nonetheless by Taylor Kolsten, who threw, or excuse me, that was 17, excuse me. So that's To'o with the catch. A little double move there with a shoulder fake, and they go right back to him.
Physical game, and you would expect it from both these teams. I mean, they get it done on offense, but I guarantee you, and in talking with both coaches, take this home. The pulse of both teams, they need to get it done defensively. And that's the tone both these coaches want to set with their teams.
Jerusalem To'o, a junior. First completion went 13. This one going forward. 2nd down. Here's a bomb downfield. Got a man and incomplete. And McGill, the intended man, just out of reach. He laid out for it.
Yeah, that's twice now Erickson has had an open receiver who's beaten his man over the top for a big play and has just been unable to convert on both those throws.
Boy, that one was close, though. Very close.
Just outside the reach. Those, you're not going to complete 90% of those throws, but you would, if you're Whitworth, you would hope you'd at least convert 1 out of 2 of those throws. Those are big chunk plays. You just don't get many opportunities like that during the course of a game.
Cody Bollig is the Woodward lineman down. Very quick to get up. Walking under his own power back to the Whitworth sideline.
And Bollig starting as a freshman. So he's done really nice duty today as a right guard as a freshman. So we're Drew Ongst, 5'10", 300. That's one stout young man is going to come in as his replacement.
And now here's the 3rd down and 6. Corona, the blocking back. Here we go, up for grabs and incomplete. Intended for Kolsten. There was a cornerback and a safety coming in.
Yeah,
tight window.
Very tight. You're throwing into double coverage, and To'o, in my eye, was open, somewhat open, intermediate, about 1st down range on a crossing route from the backside. Erickson made the decision, try to get bigger yardage downfield, but man, that's dangerous. You throw into double coverage.
Alejandro to punt from the Pirate 5-yard line. Chris Adamo back to return at the Linfield 40. This is a short kick. He comes in at the 42, but he calls a fair catch. That's where the Wildcats will start this drive.
That was a quick, fair catch. There was room to run if he wanted to catch it, try to get at least another 5 yards or so.
Alejandro, who showed some range as a place kicker last week in the win against PLU, had a career best 43-yarder and nearly made a 49-yarder. He's got double duty, that punt going 35 yards.
Yeah, and on a good day, he has 50-plus yard range if it comes down to it. He is quite the kicker. Now that decision by Linfield to punt on 4th down, flip the field around. They've got nice field position again coming out.
Going to take a shot downfield. And incomplete. The receiver lost his footing. Keaton Wood, who has scored a touchdown in 3 of Linfield's last 4 games.
Yeah, Smith and receiver were not on the same page because Smith threw that far to the outside like he's expecting more of a corner route, and that was a post route run by the wide receiver.
Just a second incomplete pass now. Or third, I should say, for Wyatt Smith, who's now 15 of 18. 10 yards to go on 2nd down. Play action. Down the sideline, high throw, and incomplete. And intended for Colton Smith. And suddenly Wyatt Smith, who couldn't miss, has missed on 2 of his last 3 attempts.
Yeah, back-to-back misses. The miss read with his receiver on 1, that was just a missed throw. His brother was open on the sideline, but the ball wobbled. Did it get deflected? Because he usually throws a pretty nice spiral. Hard to say if the ball got tipped. It very well could, or it just misfired coming out of his hand and wobbled because he didn't throw it clean.
Big 3rd down coming up, 3rd and 10, rush coming, Smith up in the pocket on the run, and he's wrapped up from behind. And who else? Andrew Mccoy, who already has 6 sacks on the season, make it 7, and his 12th tackle for loss on the year.
Well, right there, it's plays like that why we highlighted Mccoy as an impact player, and I mean, not only coming into the game, 11 tackles for loss on 20 tackles. So half the time this guy gets a tackle, it's for loss. Sack leader in the Northwest Conference. That's a huge play and a huge 3 and out for this Whitworth defense.
Taylor Colsty back to return. End over end kick. They'll clear out here as this takes a Linfield roll inside the 20. Down between the 19 and 18-yard line. Good punt for Linfield. 44 yards on the punt. Pirates take over inside their own 20, still trailing by 7. Welcome back to Spokane. We're in the 2nd quarter of this one. Whitworth trailing Linfield 21-14. The Pirates starting this drive from their own 18-yard line. Leif Erickson throws, complete. This is Cole. Isaiah Cole head over heels. Boy, oh boy.
Starting to see more of that in the college game where, with these new tackling rules, where you've got runners, whether it's a running back or receiver, just trying to leap over defenders. That is so dangerous.
Kiel Davis is the one who put him up in the air, gave him an extra little lift there. Gain of 4, all said and done.
You're already pretty vertical to start with. Here, I'll throw you up in the air another foot or 2. See how that landing feels.
This is Cole on the run. Isaiah Cole to midfield into Linfield territory. Finally chased down out of bounds. Isaiah Cole breathing life into this running game, and now he's going to maybe take a little breather here. Another look, some great blocking and great forward running there by number 3.
Cole, only 15 attempts on the season coming into this game, his longest run at 23 yards. So how big a play is that against Linfield? And is that Cole who's...
Yeah, it is. You have to assume the indication was you think it's cramping.
Because he didn't get hit out of bounds. He just ran out of bounds. There wasn't a late hit or anything unsportsmanlike that happened.
Checking to see if he can feel anything in that heel. The run went 41 yards. A season long for Cole. Another look at the end of the play.
Yeah, just a little tap at the end, and you can see him pull up a little gingerly right at the end.
Looks to be cramping. First indication, I will be honest, once they were looking at the heel, a little concerned it might be an Achilles, but clearly not the case.
No, you're not walking off if it's Achilles. So,
boy, what a run though! 41 yards for Isaiah Cole, and that's kind of been the missing element for the Whitworth offense over the last few games.
Yeah, it is. Early in the season, we talked about it. Whitworth was consistently getting these big plays, and we just haven't seen a steady dose of that. Mishandle on that.
Ball's loose. Linfield says they have it. So Vitali, who's listed as a linebacker, had the carry. They say down.
The handoff was shaky, and what are they saying now? By Linfield's reaction, this looks initially to be Linfield's ball.
The offense has not come back off the field, though.
It was not a clean handoff. So at that point, you're wondering, did it properly get tucked away?
Vitali never had it.
No.
I mean,
The result of the play is a fumble. Linfield recovered, first down.
My goodness. First carry for Vitali goes right into the hands of Linfield. The ball was being juggled around. Was his knee down? Did you see that? I think his knee was down.
Clearly the knee was down.
But when his knee was down, the next question is, did he have full security, full possession of the football?
It looked to me like he did, because initially, no, he did not have ball security, and it wasn't fully controlled, but it was corralled in his arm. Knee was down. Now there's a bunch of commotion in there, so probably blocked the refs from having an angle. That was a miscall based. If we had replay here based on that angle, that ball would go back to Whitworth. So this appears to be a huge break for Linfield.
Artie Johnson with a carry of 5 yards for Linfield, trying to capitalize on the first turnover by Whitworth on the ground. Remember, they did have an interception thrown. Now on play action, everybody bit. Receiver wide open at the 40-yard line. And Keegan Weiss, another grab. Weiss coming off a 103-yard, 2-touchdown effort last week against Lewis and Clark. It's up near 20 yards there as now Linfield is in Whitworth territory.
Yeah, it's plays like that on that, look, the fumble, non-fumble, where having replay is so important.
Here's a shot downfield. It's intercepted at the 5. Whitworth gets the ball back on the jump ball inside the 10-yard line. Pirates take over on the first interception of the game.
This is classic Whitworth defense. They force fumbles, they put pressure in sacks, and they have a knack. They are ball hawking in the secondary, no doubt about this interception.
And it's Hornbeck's third interception in his last 2 games.
Could even perhaps had a face mask at the end of that as well.
So the Pirates get it back at their own 7. Just the 4th interception thrown this season by Wyatt Smith.
That's a 50-50 ball, and normally it's the receiver who comes down with it, not on that play.
Corona trying to stretch the play. Nothing doing for him. Boy, oh boy, what a big turn of events for Whitworth as Linfield was getting closer to making this a 2-touchdown advantage. Instead, the Pirates have the football and a chance to tie this game.
mostly all offense in the first quarter, 35 points. At 21-14, you're seeing on the scoreboard, that was the score at the end of the first quarter. This has now been about defense.
Can the Pirates run the ball effectively? That's the question. Cole had the big run. There's a grab made by Meredith. Andrew Meredith, his first catch of the ball game. He leads the team with 6 touchdowns this season. Pirates move the chains. Yeah, on a gain of 12.
Meredith has been their big play guy, their go-to guy when they want to score points through the air. He's been pretty quiet today.
Fresh set of downs. Drive continues from their own 18. Shoulder fake. Now Lace going to try to run, and he runs right into a wall of Linfield defenders. Chase Leidig and company swallowed him up.
I like the decision. No receivers open. Rather than sit in there a little more against this pass rush, lean forward. He is a good runner. Get positive yardage instead of an incompletion or try forcing some throw in there that you shouldn't.
Going back to Meredith, he's now the 6th different receiver to catch one of Leif Eriksson's 9 completions so far. It's been the story all season long. Shoulder fake, throwing downfield. Incomplete. The cornerback never bit as he was covering Cole's team.
What Linfield did is they showed cover 2. So cover 2 is when you got both safeties covered half of the field. The safety on that side of the field creeped up, leaving man-to-man coverage on the outside. Eriksson thinking he was going to have the receiver run by a defensive back who was going to sit in coverage. Zone coverage, no. Man-to-man and nothing there.
6 yards to go from their own 22. Complete, hit immediately.
That should be targeted.
There's a flag.
And that could be, you're out of the ball game. That is.
Taylor Hall took the shot.
That could be incredibly costly for Linfield. Not so much the yardage, but I'll tell you what, that looked to me like not only targeting, but the type where you could be ejected from the game.
There is no foul in the play.
Oh.
Results a first down.
Well, it is a first down for the Pirates. Here's another look. Tackle or targeting? Oh, he's leading with the head.
Yeah, he hit him in the head. I'm not sure why they pulled the flag back.
Boy, Rod Sandberg is beside himself right now. I mean, he's looking out for his guys here. That's their livelihood.
That is an obvious targeting. Everyone watching saw the visual evidence on the replay. The flag was thrown and somehow they pulled it back. I'm just baffled. I can understand the missed fumble because there's all that commotion. The knee was down, then the ball came out later. But something like this, that open and that obvious, baffling to me, Sam.
Meredith made the catch there. It's his 2nd reception. And boy, a play that could have been game altering. Pull the flag back. 2nd down, 4 yards to go. We're inside of 6 minutes here in the first half. Down the sideline, back shoulder caught by McGill. Into Linfield territory. They mark him down at the 35-yard line. Big completion from Eriksson on the back shoulder throw.
Yeah, and this is by design. Whitworth practices all the time, those back shoulder throws. Eriksson perfectly on target in the throwing window on that pass.
Another big completion by Eriksson.
Indefensible as a DB if that ball is thrown properly, which it was.
Drive continues from the Linfield 35. Eriksson's pass tipped at the line and incomplete. That pass went 31 yards to McGill. It's the longest play yet for Eriksson throwing the football today.
Well, McGill, Eriksson had to dump it quickly. He was looking at the slant, but McGill on the outside put a double move on the Linfield defensive back and the defensive back bit, and if he had the time to hit McGill would have been open by 5 yards. It would have been an easy touchdown pass. But credit Linfield's defense. The pressure.
But we're sending Meredith in motion, deep drop. This is by design screen pass, and it's Isaiah Cole down to the 20-yard line, a pickup of 15. And the Whitworth Pirate offense is clicking here late in the second quarter.
I love the play call by offensive coordinator Alan Stanfield. If you've got heavy pressure coming at you, what do? You neutralize it with the screen game or draws. Little screen pass, neutralize the pass rush, and get it done with the downfield blocking and the legs.
Timeout taken by Rod Sandberg and the Pirates. Sends now Leif over 150 yards in the first half. It's on pace for another 300-yard game. And this after a very inauspicious start.
Yeah, absolutely. And this has been a tale of two quarters for sure. 35 points. Thought we might have an offensive shootout after that first quarter. And now it is just turning into a defensive, just November playoff on the line physical game.
Well, 21-14 was the score after the first quarter. So 35 points scored between the two teams in the first quarter. Grand total this quarter, 0. But it looks like Whitworth might have a say in changing that. They're at the 20-yard line. They've used 2 of their 3 timeouts.
Well, and neither team has even had a sniff of the red zone in the second half until here. A little trickery again.
An opportunity to throw for McGill. He will. Throws into the end zone, up in the air, and caught on the tip. Are you kidding? No way. Taylor Hall makes the grab. And we're a point away from a tie game. Nick McGill, an All-American in the javelin, threw one into the end zone. It's not how they drew it up, but it finds the friendly hands of a Whitworth receiver.
Actually, an ill-advised throw because he threw into a triple team, but guess what? Ball pops up and an alert Hall corrals it in.
And we are tied up at the Pine Bowl. It is a wild one here for the Northwest Conference title. Trickeration and a little bit of luck. 21-21. He leads the team in rushing touchdowns.
And they'll often bring him. That's typical, is to bring Johnson in the red zone because of his run ability.
Did a pretty good job of sniffing out the play. The defenders were still in the end zone covering the receivers.
It was quadruple teamed. You can't fault any of the defenders. That's just sometimes the way the ball bounces.
Linfield will have the football now. 4:24 to play. One timeout remaining.
But I will say Hall on the backside could have easily given up as a receiver. He didn't. Yeah. He stayed aware because as soon as that ball became playable, he pounced like a cat on that football.
How many receivers would you see kind of throw up their hands or hands on the hips already, like, oh, bad pass, it's going to be picked?
Yeah,
he was ready, like a rebounder under the glass in basketball.
Instead of being a spectator, he stayed engaged.
Good lesson out there. Wyatt Smith, a little bit struggling right now, and they go to the ground game.
Not with that play. That shovel pass up the gut. My goodness.
Boy, that's 3 times they've gone to the well on that. And 3 times it's worked, Mike.
Yeah, once for a touchdown, but it just,
I mean, the way Artie Johnson runs with a football afterwards, it's a shame he doesn't get credit for the rushing yards.
Exactly.
Wide open. Pass off by Keaton Wood. And Mike, you have to wonder, how does that shovel game affect the linebackers when he is back to pass and they keep the running back in the backfield as a blocking back?
Well, what you have to do, you have to keep a spy in there. Normally, your spy is on the running back or on the quarterback. In this case, you have to spy on both, and that's one less defender in the secondary coverage. Against this offense,
17 yards on that first completion to Artie Johnson. Drive continues from the 44. Deep drop here. Deep throw. Has a man caught inside the 30. Little spin by Colton Smith. So 17 yards on the completion to Johnson on the shovel pass. 14 to Keaton Wood. And another big play here from the 44 down to the 25. 19 yards on that completion. So back to back to back big plays by Linfield.
Starting to look like that opening drive by Linfield.
Smith to throw, this time short underneath. It's the tight end this time. And completion by Jacob Kalo, 230-pound freshman.
Now, Ian Black at linebacker on a blitz was able to get some pressure on Smith, but Smith's going to hang in there. He's still accurate in spite of the pressure, and that pressure just was not enough. And that was a quarterback hurry and a quarterback hit.
This is Johnson, Artie Johnson, trying to bounce it outside, close to the first down marker. We talk about quarterback for Whitworth, Leif Erickson, on pace for a 300-yard game, but how about Wyatt Smith? He is on pace for a 500-yard game. He's sitting at 246 through the first two quarters.
And his completion percentage, that's another thing I wanted to watch with these quarterbacks. Average is 70%. He's above his average today against this Whitworth defense.
From the 15, draw play into a wall of defenders, short yardage carry. So Whitworth broke the seal in the second quarter for scoring, and now Linfield is getting close to doing the same on their offensive end. Folks, Whitworth had its season opener in men's basketball last night, the beginning of a new era with Matt Logie going on to San Diego, and Damian Jablonski, the new head coach, will be our halftime guest, so you want to stick around for that. Opening night for the Pirates last night on the hardwood. 2nd down and 7 from the Pirate 12. Rolling out, throwing into the end zone, has a man, and it's caught. Incomplete though, he was out of bounds. Catch was made by Keegan Weiss, but could not get a foot in.
No, that same part of the field we saw To'o do the foot dance, do the toe dance, and keep down. Let's take a look. So catch looked clean.
Maybe he had a toe out of bounds.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
3rd down, 7 yards to go. Big play here coming up. They need to get to the 5. Pirates send 4 on the rush. Smith up in the pocket. Incomplete, lots of contact. There's going to be a pass interference call against the Pirates. There is a Pirate down at the 30.
So a couple things going on here, but you see 28-yard line far from the play, and at the end the Linfield blocker just kept driving the Pirate defender back and then just drove him into the ground. I thought very well a flag could be thrown on that one, Sam.
Can't quite get a number on the Whitworth defender who's down at the 30.
Pass interference on the defense, number 52. Ball we placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
But one thing I will just ask and observe. The player is on the 28-yard line, the Whitworth player, on the 28-yard line, way outside the hash mark, at the number. How far away from the line of scrimmage is he? And the officials allowed him to just get pancaked into the ground that far away.
What'd you see, Mike?
On the
replay.
I would have to have another look. I was actually, my eyes were on the field checking the Whitworth player, so I would have to take a look again. Well, here we go. Look number 2, ball in the air. Unless the right arm, all I can say is if the right arm was hooked around the hip and you couldn't really tell on that angle, then yes, that would be no-brainer pass interference. But if the ball wasn't on the hip, that's a no call from that angle. But we don't have the angle where we can tell, so and that call's going to hold up, and here you go. Linfield's going to get another shot here with first down.
Spot is at the 2-yard line. First and goal from the Pirate 2. Tie ball game, 21-21. A minute and 8 seconds to play. For the first time, quarterback Smith is under center. And Johnson is stopped short at the 1-yard line. Remember, only one timeout remaining for both teams here. So Linfield, they're obviously in no rush right now, but they're going to have to consider that. They've used their 2 timeouts. They have 1 remaining. Second down and goal to go.
Linfield's doing the right thing. Take your time. You're clock managing here. If you do score, you don't want Whitworth to have time to counter.
Johnson up the middle. Waits for a block. Nothing there. Tries to slip past the tackle. And he's stopped. It's a loss this time for Artie Johnson. This Whitworth defense is stout between the tackles.
And Linfield is now going to take their timeout, their last one, with 15 seconds.
And Mike, that takes the run out of the equation now.
Yeah, you're playing for the pass now. I totally agree. I thought you'd take a timeout maybe with 27 seconds so you keep the run-pass option open here on third down.
So that limits the playbook now. I mean, unless it's play action, but you've got to be thinking past the entire way if you're the Whitworth defense.
Yes, you have to, and if you're the defensive coordinator for Whitworth, that's exactly what you're telling your players is, hey guys, it's got to be a pass offensively for Linfield. Your playbook now, it's about the passing game, because if you're to run and you come up short, you most likely are not going to have enough time to get your offense off the field, special teams out there, set up, and execute a field goal.
Regardless, special teams unit for Linfield has to be ready to come out on a sprint and be prepared for the worst, correct?
Yes, and I don't know that you can do that with 15 seconds. Let's say a run is going to take 5 or 6 seconds. They unpile, they run off, run on. I don't think you have enough time. With 20-some seconds, you have time. With 15, you don't. So the half is going to come down to this play right here, in my opinion.
15 seconds to play. It's third and goal from the 2. Smith running, wrapped up, short of the goal line. There are people indicating to spike the football here, but it's on fourth down. They've got to get up quick, get under center, get the play off, and they try to.
And it looks like they're short. It looks like this D is going to hold, Sam.
And it is short as time expires. Oh my goodness, 21-21. Linfield kind of shoots itself in the foot. One of the most experienced and vaunted programs in the Northwest Conference, showing a little wobble right now in the Pine Bowl.
Well, in all content, it comes down to clock management at the end of the half. And in that case, there were 27 seconds left, and Linfield waited 12 seconds to burn their last timeout. If you're going to use your timeout, use it early so you've got time to come in, kick a field goal. Because in that case, you'd instead of trying to, so here's third down. So there you go. This is going to consume 5-6 seconds. And now you have to try to get up there, do a quarterback sneak. But if you had 27 seconds to go, plenty of time. You don't have to be rushed.
Look at the confusion.
Yeah, you can get your field goal unit out there. So he's clearly down. Clearly down. 2 plays weren't called in the huddle. Now you can see Smith trying to get his players aligned. Look at that. Kale Wong understanding the situation, leaping over the top of the pile and making the tackle.
My goodness. This game has been everything as advertised. 21-21. Both teams going into the locker room. And momentum is on Whitworth's side going into this halftime.
Indeed it is. And guess who gets the ball to open the second half? The team with the momentum, the Whitworth Pirates.
Folks, we are just getting started. Don't go anywhere. 21-21 your score at the half. Battle for the Northwest Conference Championship and a trip to the postseason in Division III postseason. 21-21. Start of the second half of action. 21-21 your score. Pirates and Linfield playing for the Northwest Conference Championship. Leif Erickson, 13 of 22, 156 yards, a touchdown. His counterpart, Wyatt Smith, 20 of 26 for 246 and 3 touchdowns. But Mike, with the rain now coming in for the first time, how does that alter the passing game for both teams?
Well, we were here a couple of weeks ago, George Fox here at Whitworth in the Pine Bowl. A little more wet than what we're seeing now, but it definitely affected the passing game for both teams. Low scoring, 19-14, a Whitworth win in that one. We'll see. Will it be first quarter, bunch of offensive fireworks? What we saw in the second quarter is just rugged D.
Pirates to receive a one-hopper from the 7. Isaiah Wong-Longzanaida. And, you know, it's interesting, Mike, because Whitworth, outside of a 41-yard run by Isaiah Cole, its running game was almost non-existent. Artie Johnson, though, for Linfield, 13 carries for 51 yards, just a hair under 4 yards per carry. Very effective for the Wildcats.
And 34 yards in the passing game, most of those off a shovel pass, which is essentially a handoff.
First carry of the second half, and it's a short one for Corona. Whitworth held to 45 yards rushing in the first half. 41 of those coming on one carry by Isaiah Cole, who's a wide receiver by trade, but busted off a long run in that first half. Erickson to throw for the first time in the inclement weather. Underneath, a little shimmy and shake, but nowhere for Isaiah Cole to go. Up now third down on the gain of 4. About 6 yards to go. Whitworth trying to take advantage of getting the kickoff to start the second half. Timeout taken by the Linfield defense. Remember, Linfield, after the first half, Mike, was a timeout, I believe, short of scoring in those final seconds. Had they held on to one of those timeouts, that really hurt them in those final seconds.
And that's where I was going right now. You're less than a minute into the second half, and that's an odd time to call a timeout. So, yes, it's a key down to open the half, 3rd and 6 or 7. I'm thinking Linfield didn't like what they saw offensively with Whitworth and had the wrong defensive scheme. Call a timeout, try to get a stop here. 3 and out to open the second half. That's all I can think of.
So now an opportunity for Leif Erickson and the Pirate offense to gather and talk things over. 3rd down and 5, trying to set the tone for the second half. Out of the shotgun. Hit as he throws over the middle, and it's caught at midfield. Big completion for the Pirates on 3rd down as Andrew Meredith makes the grab.
Well, there's that saying, make your timeouts count. Whitworth made Linfield pay for that timeout, not coming up with a stop there on a perfectly thrown ball by Erickson. Another gritty catch over the middle.
Small sample size, but on 2 attempts, Leif Erickson, 2 completions here in the rain. Now they run a screen. The receiver screen goes to Meredith, and he picks up 7.
See, and now the ball came out a little wobbly, but I'm also looking, are they changing out the football? And with this up-tempo offense by Whitworth, as plays continue on, if they're not changing the football, it's tougher to pass.
Cole with his first carry, he takes it back outside as he changes direction, picks up 5 and gets the first down.
And he looks a little shaken up on that one, got up pretty slow.
He'll head right to the sideline. He is in pain. He's holding that right leg.
This has been a physical game.
Hard to tell from there, but he was very slow getting up. Meredith has 27 yards receiving on 2 receptions this half. A little miscommunication between Erickson and Meredith on that play.
Yeah, and receiver was open, but that mesh point where the 2 crossing receivers come together and then clear just wasn't very clean. So it's kind of a guess of a read and a throw on Erickson's part. No fault to Erickson. It's more the way the play developed.
2nd down and 10. Erickson now 16 of 26 throwing the football. And is Corona in the backfield on a pistol formation set.
Could be a good time for a draw play.
It's exactly what they'll do. Up the middle. Corona picks up 8. 9 yards now on the spot. Mike Peterson, perfect play call.
Well, and we have a Linfield player down here, but what you see there is 4-man rush, linebackers sitting back at that second line of defense. No blitz is shown. Typically, those linebackers are going to fly out of there. So if you get by first line, you can get pretty good gains. And the Linfield rush has been aggressive. That's how you neutralize screen passes and draws.
So the Whitworth offense with the football with a 3rd and 1 coming up from the 26-yard line. Injury timeout on the field. We'll be back after this. Weather has turned. Will the tide turn for either of these teams? They're at a stalemate, 21-21. Mike Peterson, 3rd down and 1. And Connor Johnson in at quarterback under center.
And Linfield knows it, and they are stacking the box. This is power versus power.
Johnson takes a snap right up the middle. He's got it, and then some. Past the 25-yard line, picks up the first down. Power versus power.
And I tell you, Johnson did that initial serve to the A-gap on the left side, a little bit stopped, slid to the A-gap on the right side, found the daylight, got that first down. That was a second effort by Johnson.
Now here's something for Linfield to keep in mind. Connor Johnson remains on the field.
And it's still this bunch offense, but he can throw the ball, and now we're in shotgun. Could we see a pass here?
Empty backfield? No, he'll run that Wildcat. You know, I just saw it last night on the high school football gridiron. Mount Spokane is down at starting quarterback. They have Cannon Katzer, a magnificent running back, the best in the area. And he was running the Wildcat. He had 5 touchdown runs in the first half.
Yeah, just snap the ball, let him pick a hole and go.
And it suits Whitworth, especially with the weather. All right, so it is now 2nd down and 9, and back comes Leif Erickson. Corona next to him as a running back. He'll take a shot downfield into the end zone, and it's bobbled and incomplete. It was intended for Kolsten.
Erickson was on the money and under duress because the all-out blitz was on by the Linfield defense. And Erickson hung in there, took a shot, delivered a strike, but that was really nice defense by the Linfield defender.
Incomplete pass brings up 3rd down from the 24. Whitworth has never led in this ball game. Erickson with time over the middle. A lot of contact there before the pass got there. No flags, incomplete. It was intended for Taylor Hall.
Now, we are in field goal range, and sure enough, Whitworth's rolling out the field goal unit. Ball, again, accuracy, which sometimes Erickson, if there's just one thing you're looking at with Erickson, oh, no, Connor Johnson's in there.
Johnson out there.
It's not the field goal unit, but that ball was on the money. Just couldn't be corralled.
They're also shuttling Bollig here. And now, yes,
Okay.
they will line up for the field goal. This between the hashes. This will be a 41-yard attempt. Alejado, who hit from 43 yards out last week, drills this one, and the Pirates have their first lead.
That's what I was talking about, that range. He has 50-plus yard range. He had every bit of that. And what will go down is, check that. What is that, Sam? About a 41-yarder.
Yeah.
Good-looking kicker. You
Almost made a 49-yarder last week, to talk about his range.
Don't think Linfield wants that 3 points that they left out there at the end of the first half?
But who knew that the weather would turn the way it did? It was cloudy, no rain, but all of a sudden you start thinking about things, right, Mike? We just don't know what the next two quarters are going to carry out.
Hey, in heavyweight games, you can't leave points out there on the field. Execution in the red zone is key, and if it comes down to a little bit of clock mismanagement where you literally ran out of time, not enough time to get your field goal unit out there, those little things add up.
It was a 12-play, 48-yard scoring drive. The Pirates have their first lead of the ball game.
Pirates were down 21-7 with a minute 44 to go in the first quarter. And since then, it's been all Pirates, at least offensively.
This one goes out of bounds by a yard. It was at the 1 yard line. So the second time the Pirates have kicked and had the ball go out of bounds, which means Linfield will start from the 35. But again, risk reward. As you know, if you get any kind of miscommunication, confusion on the return team, they're giving up those extra 15 yards in this situation, letting him spot the 35. Might just be worth it. We'll see how that plays out as the game unfolds.
No, I agree. And no sense kicking it directly to the kick returner, letting a big play happen. And in these conditions, 35, it's not necessarily advantage offense, defense. It's just kind of a draw from a field position perspective.
Artie Johnson is in the backfield behind the quarterback, Wyatt Smith, who is a front runner for Northwest Conference Player of the Year. Here comes a flag. I believe that's a delay of game.
Well,
it is.
It is. And so what we've seen with Linfield, and you typically don't see this, we talked about some clock management at the end of the first half. On Whitworth's first drive on third down, Linfield burns a timeout, and Whitworth converts a third down, and now you come out on the first play and have a delay of game. This is a little bit of sloppiness I typically do not see with Linfield.
Throw on the far sideline. It is caught. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage and then a couple extra yards as Colton Smith makes his first grab of the second half.
And I'm not trying to be critical of Linfield because they do a great job and they execute at such a high level. I'm just simply being observational here. This is not normally what I see with the Linfield team.
Smith now 7 catches, 59 yards. Carry up the middle. Artie Johnson will pick up the first down as he gets up to the 47 on a gain of 10.
Johnson has been very impactful on those little shovel screens and running up the gut in the run game today, or between the tackles. He has just been solid.
From their own 47, deep drop. Throw it out the flat. It is caught. Here's Artie Johnson out of bounds into Whitworth territory.
Hey, he's got it done up the middle. Let's put him out there on the edge and see what he can do.
Rod Sandberg got the rain gear on. He's hunkered down, ready to go for the second half. There's a gain of 6 on that completion. Smith now 22 of 28 throwing the football. Defensive chant here. Gets the defender up in the air. Wong drawing a lot of attention there. Kale Wong was closest to him. He might get credit on the sack.
Yeah, I think one of those Whitworth Pirate defenders that were knifing through there, snaking through, reached out with their arm and I think probably clipped Smith's foot and dropped him to the ground. We'll take a look. Look down around the foot. He just stumbled coming out.
Yeah. And again, the footing could be affected too with the rain.
And having that pressure and you're hurrying to escape and get that chin over the top of the toes and down you go.
3rd and 11 for Linfield, trailing by 3. Incomplete. And the Wildcats will have to bring on the punting team.
Yeah, clearly this is not 4-down territory in this situation. Just a good, solid Pirate stop. And there was a hook around the right side.
Absolutely, Mike.
Yeah, we saw that called, or at least we assume it did, in the end zone right at the end of the first half. If a flag was thrown,
Kalo not wrong asking for the flag.
Would not have had an argument from anyone on that.
Kolsten back to return from the Whitworth 15. Punt is away. Boy, this is a boomer. They're going to throw a flag. He was inside the halo.
Yes, he was. And
no matter who comes up with it. But Kolsten had one of the special teamers right in his grill. He did not give him the opportunity to receive the fair catch.
And now you also want to see who comes up with it. Because if Whitworth comes up with it, they'll tack it on to the end of that play. If Linfield comes up with it, then the penalty is from the spot of the foul. So you can see the ref right there pointing to the ground, saying this will be the spot if indeed Whitworth did do the recovery. So you're talking a matter of what, maybe another 8 yards or so based on the bounce. And I'm sure that's what the refs are talking through here, because you've got the spot of the muff. It's called a muff, not a fumble, because you don't have possession. So kicked forward.
I think, Mike, we ought to just send you to the sideline next to Rod Sandberg so he can get the explanation immediately. He's wondering what's going on here. But you've talked it through to our viewers already.
So let's see.
Catching interference on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So it's from the spot of the foul. Whitworth will get the ball with 9:03 to play in the third quarter. Pirates leading by 3.
Well, as they're coming up on the screen here, let's start with Linfield. Well, the Pirates had to play catch up early, and indeed have they caught up, and with a vengeance. So it's not going to be a runaway. Doesn't look like it's going to be a runaway shootout. And the big plays, well, these trick plays have been big plays, so Linfield has not held down the Pirates in that one. Points from Deere special teams, so the Pirates have not seen that yet. Okay offensive run-pass balance. I think it's been more about the deceptions and turnovers to this offense and getting points on the board.
Isaiah Cole on the carry. 3 yards on that run. Whitworth now with 65 yards rushing has just overtaken Linfield in that category by 2. Whitworth just has had its struggles and trying to figure out, hey, where is our running back production going to come from? Of course, Tariq Ellis suffers a early season, before the season, Achilles injury. Braden Corona has played well, but they're trying to get something consistent going. Isaiah Cole has certainly been a bright spot over the last couple of weeks now, as he takes the reception out of the backfield. And he is dealing with something, Mike, because he is not getting up. Something is bothering him. And you can't help but wonder if it's the same thing.
Yeah, he's been taking shots all day. We saw him kind of gimp on that 41-yard run. We saw him come up a little gimpy, look like something in the ankle-foot area. And then he took another little twist on that run and play earlier in the half where, again, it looked like maybe an ankle injury or something. And here it looks like it's more upper body. Now he did get fallen on, so let's see if he's on the ground and someone just kind of piled on there.
But it looked like he had almost gone to the turf before even contact was made. And contact itself certainly not helping the situation.
Yeah, you just wonder, the Linfield defender flew over the top of him. Sometimes you can catch a knee to the ribs or hip area, and that'll definitely slow you down.
He's helped off the field. Isaiah Cole, a sophomore wide receiver as far as his position listing goes, but he's been playing a lot of running back here today.
It has been one physical game for that young man. He sure battled.
It's really hard to tell from where they were, what they were addressing. Really, it could be anything. We would hate to speculate. It's 3rd down and 6 to go.
I'll go as far as saying he's a little banged up right now, and I will stop right there.
From the 31-yard line. Corona in the backfield. He runs out to the right. Throw over the middle is incomplete. A lot of white jerseys out in front of him. So Whitworth's offense, a 3 and out after forcing the punt. And here comes the punting unit. As Alejado has been very busy here today. As far as special teams goes, not so much in the punting category, but big field goal in the second half that could ultimately be the deciding factor, especially the way the offenses have slowed down here with the rain. Little wobbler fielded at the 25-yard line. No fair catch, but with nowhere to go. Chris Adamo from Bend, Oregon, bent backwards on that play. No return yardage.
I was surprised to see the fair. He did not signal a fair catch. That is punt returner island. When you're there, you catch the ball and you're staring at 4 shirts, opposite color shirts, straight across from you. I mean, it's just look at this wall of defenders. The spacing is perfect. There's your 4 defenders. Good luck getting through that.
It seemed like everybody got a hand on him there. Linfield starts from its own 25, trailing for the first time by 3. 24-21. Conference championship hangs in the balance. Linfield with a win today would win the conference title outright. Whitworth would have to win next week to secure that title. Contested grab inbounds. It is made by Keaton Wood.
Almost knocked down defensively, but that ball was perfectly thrown to the window, had enough zip to where it was not knocked down. Instead, there you go. There's a pass. There's a first down. We've seen that all year.
Another look from the sideline.
Look at that. Couple inches away. Otherwise, that's a knockdown.
Empty backfield. Jump route. This could be a pick six. Nothing but green ahead. Touchdown, Pirates. Bryce Hornbeck. His second interception goes the distance. No flags.
That is sniffing it out and jumping a pass route.
Where has this kid come from? Hornbeck, who had 2 interceptions his previous game, 2 more today. And this one goes back 35 yards for the touchdown. PAT is good. It's a 10-point Whitworth lead.
That is just sniffing it out as a defensive back, because the initial read by Smith was to the right side as a look-off. That is a blind throw coming back. He did not expect anyone to be there defensively. Hornbeck said, no, I see what's coming. That interception perhaps happened in the film room and the scouting sessions this week.
Leave it to a guy who's 5'7", to make the biggest play of the game.
Whitworth was down 21-7. 24 unanswered points.
And one has to wonder, has the weather, how has that impacted the game? And Whitworth has not missed a beat. They've risen to the occasion.
Yes, indeed they have. And it is, when that ball gets soggy, it gets that much more difficult to sling the ball around. Wind is not a factor, but I guarantee you, wet conditions are, and it's all about the grip of the quarterback.
Keegan Weiss steps up, returns this from the 9. They need a big play here. And Weiss is on the outside, on the sideline, up to midfield, where he's finally brought down out of bounds. Good return by Keegan Weiss. There is a Linfield special teamer down at the 24. Boy, it's been the walking wounded here today for both teams.
Yeah, for Linfield, we've got double numbers, but I believe that is Chris Adam. Yeah.
And he was one of the 2 return men back for Linfield.
Now you saw.
We will take an injury timeout. Whitworth by 10, 31-21. But don't count out the Wildcats. A nice return up to the 47. We're back with more third quarter action after this. There it is. 31-21. Bryce Hornbeck, a 35-yard interception return for a touchdown. 10-point Whitworth lead. Linfield looking for an answer, starting from its own 47 after a 36-yard return. Nothing there. A loss of 2.
Well, Gunnar Swanek, pick 6, 56-yarder last week to ice that game. Guess what? We see it again with Whitworth. Yet again, defensive points, and those are so difficult to overcome, and they rattle you up offensively. So what does Linfield do? They come back to the run, and it goes nowhere.
2nd and 12. Smith hasn't looked the same since the start of this game. Boy, he looks so good. An unstoppable force through about the first 2 quarters. Struggled a little bit late in the second quarter and has not looked the same.
Okay, this game has taken on a reflection of last year, Sam, because it came down. It was all about the third quarter last year. Whitworth wins 19-14 last year. All 19 points were in the third quarter. They came out in the third quarter and took over. We're seeing it already again this year.
Pirates take their first timeout. Mike, it's deja vu.
Well, it is, and then second half as well. The Whitworth defense held Linfield to 73 yards total. That was it in the entire second half last year. We're starting to see a similar pattern here. 2 games does not make a pattern, but it's exactly what we saw last year so far.
And again, it's a year later. Now remember, last year when these 2 teams played, it was the conference opener. And this year it's the penultimate game, second to last game of the conference season. But Mike, we've laid it out. If Linfield wins this game, they win the conference title outright. Whitworth would still need to win next week, but of course that, with all due respect, it's almost a foregone conclusion that the Pirates would win next week. This is today for the championship.
Yeah, it is. It's do or die, both teams, as you say, Sam. I'll tell you the other thing last year, Linfield was 6 of their 8 possessions were 3 and out. Can Whitworth muster another 3 and out here in a quarter they have owned against Linfield in this third quarter?
12 yards to go on third down from their own 45. Smith to throw, out of the pocket, on the run, gets rid of it, throws out the sideline, and the Whitworth defense holds again.
With a 3-man rush, you're creating pressure, flushing out of the pocket. Look at the speed, the closing speed, and that's just throw it downfield and out of bounds.
Pursuit has been relentless here in the last 2 quarters.
Another 3 and out. And this Linfield offense has been just stymied so far in this third quarter.
Kolsten is the return man for the Pirates back at their own 15. A 3 and out after good field position. Whitworth will clear out here. It takes a good Wildcat roll. That is a great punt. It's down at the 5-yard line. 6:23 to play in the third.
This punting been solid all day by the Linfield punter.
It's 50 yards on that punt from Ramos.
I don't have the statistics on Whitworth field position, but we've all been watching, and I can tell you it's not been superb.
Yeah, this is the second time they've been on the 5.
Yeah,
and
this punter for Linfield's done a heck of a game, and that special teams unit pinning Whitworth back.
Ramos' third punt inside the 20 so far this afternoon. Corona on the carry there, and I don't know if we're going to see Isaiah Cole again today.
Yeah, that knee was down. As she went to the 5, but the knee was down about the 3-yard line.
Loss of 2 brings up 2nd down and 12. And this is where a lack of running game really hurts the Pirates. Four-man rush. Erickson plenty of time. High throw and incomplete. It was intended for Nick McGill.
And Erickson again decided he's going to just try to throw into double team coverage and force it in there. Quite frankly, you're throwing your receiver into trouble because there's no way you're going to make the catch, and all you're going to get out of it is another hit on your receiver. So in some cases, maybe just throw it at their feet and live for another play.
3rd down and 12. 4 receiver set. Corona, the blocking back here. Uh-oh, watch out. He's got to get rid of it. He does at the 10-yard line. Meredith moves the chains as he gets to the 18-yard line. Boy, oh boy, if he doesn't get that second out sooner, he could have been blindsided.
Yes, he could have. Good job hanging the pocket, put it on the money. Meredith been a big play guy. You think of him as far as scoring touchdowns. That is a huge play converting a 3rd down.
From the 18, Whitworth with a little breathing room now, leading by 10. Delayed handoff. Corona slips out of 2 tackles. Boy, oh boy, that could have been a loss of 3. He's lucky he even got close back to the line of scrimmage.
We've seen running backs on both sides of the ball get hit well behind the line and just find a way to turn major negative yards into some cases, in this case, smaller negative yardage, and other cases, positive yardage. That's just good effort.
The completion to Meredith went 15 yards. He now has 5 receptions for a team high, 61. Loss of 1 on that run by Corona. 2nd down and 11. Corona the handoff. Ball comes loose. Popped up in the air. I don't know if he was down. But the ball squirted out of there up in the air. And now a late flag thrown up.
Well, you expect this is turned into a rivalry game. It's last 2 years, in fact, last several years, it's come down to Linfield and Whitworth to settle the Northwest Conference title, and it is crunch time for both teams.
That was Kurt Blackman, the offensive lineman, who had the football at the bottom of that scrum.
And we'll see if it's offset.
Result of the play is Whitworth recovered the fumble, 3rd down. At the end of the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 98, 15-yard penalty at the end of the run. That's number 98's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
That's Tony Kraus. Boy, Whitworth really dodged a bullet, though, on that fumble. Here's another look. Oh, he was down. That's not even close.
Yeah, that's no argument.
They stripped
there.
it out. His hip was on the turf.
Yeah. Yeah, no question on that one.
Erickson under fire and on the run. Leif Erickson sandwiched between 3 defenders. Boy, he took a shot there.
He's a tough guy. I mean, at some point, you're just saying, quarterback, stay low, go down, don't take those extra shots. You don't want to get injured. You don't want to ding up your throwing arm or shoulder, and you certainly don't want to lose the football. But a lot of fight in Erickson.
Fades the first pass rush, the first wave by Travis Swanson, number 44. Gets a yard out of the deal.
Well, I see why he couldn't go down. The Linfield defender had him by the shoulder pads, was standing him up.
There's Corona in motion. Play whistle dead. There's a flag at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you're going to have a false start. Dead ball penalty.
False start. Number 63 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Has not been a clean game. But Whitworth's only its 3rd penalty. Linfield has been flagged 6 times for 70 yards. Woodward 3 times for 25.
And to pick up an unsportsmanlike penalty, and you're a senior in a game like this, you just can't lose your composure in a game like this.
Not in a game where you're dead even in total offense. 333 for Linfield, 336 for Whitworth. Here's a deep heave downfield, and McGill couldn't grab it. He was trying to create a little separation, got one hand on it, incomplete, and he knows that one could have been in his grasp.
That's on McGill. That ball was not overthrown. McGill slowed down, trying to separate at the end from the defender. If he just kept running, he could have caught that ball on stride. That's what happens as a receiver. You have to need to continue to run through your route. There's a time to slow down and separate, but not on that throw.
Yeah. Brings up 3rd down and 14. Linfield sending a 4-man rush. Another shot downfield. This one well overthrown and incomplete. And that'll prompt the kicking unit to come on the field. Alejado coming out to punt for the Pirates.
That scheme, and it's not, doesn't matter where on the field Whitworth does it, but you pump and then check off and hit the go route. Sometimes they'll pump to the outside, go route on the inside. In that case, it was pump on the inside, go route on the outside. It's been a very effective play for Whitworth, but Linfield is just too well coached. This is too well scouted. There's nothing there.
Alejado punt is away. Adamo will field this on the run from the 36. Dancing around, still on his feet, up to the 40, to the 45. Takes a shot down at the 47. Adamo trying to fire up his team here. Boy, oh boy.
Well,
he is fired up.
That was a fiery return, so no way, there's no wonder he's coming out of this all fired up, because look at the passion, desire, guttiness in this run. There's no fear in that guy.
To the 47-yard line, and that's where Linfield will take over. Good field position for the Wildcats. Pirates trying to make another defensive stand. First pass is complete into Whitworth territory. It's Smith to Smith. Colton Smith makes the grab.
Yeah, and another timing route. That's just when quarterback, receiver on the same page. Obviously, these brothers are. They've been doing it forever. And it's just routine. They make it look so easy.
4 yards on that completion. Plenty of time coming back to the ball, caught at the 39, sliding around, and you can really see how, it hasn't rained that much, but it has been consistent since halftime.
It's wet enough that it is a factor.
So, first down pickup. Smith throwing underneath, caught at the 32. Another reception by Colton Smith. He's got 9 catches now. Smith, the quarterback, now nearing 300 yards for the ball game. 2nd down and 4 to go. Send a man in motion. They pitch it forward to Colton Smith. Smith following blocks up to the 30. Whitworth sniffed that out very well on a kind of jet sweep action on a shovel. Will go as a pass since it was a forward toss.
Ian Black at linebacker. I've got to point him out again. That was well defended by the Whitworth defense because the entire defense played scheme defense and strung it out. But Black got cut, legal cut block, bounced up and was still able to get in, be part of that tackle.
Is Linfield in 4-down territory. 3rd and 3 from the Pirate 30, trailing by 10. Late here in the 3rd quarter. Smith with a deep drop, rush coming, evades one, throws, caught, and a 1st down. Boy, what a play as the brother combination, Wyatt to Colton Smith, connects.
Actually, I believe that was number 8, Colton Wood.
You're right, sorry, that's Keaton Wood.
Or
Mike.
Keaton, yes.
So Wood makes the grab. Fresh set of downs from the Pirate 23. Will we see the running back? Yes, we will. Up the middle, probing that line. Haven't seen a whole lot of Artie Johnson. I was wondering when they would get that part of the game going once again because it has been effective.
Yeah, and Taylor Adams, offensive tackle for Linfield, is down, and we're wrapping up a quarter here, Sam.
Pirates score 10 points in the 3rd as they have rallied from 21-7 down. They lead by 10. 31-21, 4th quarter coming up from the Pine Bowl. Veterans Day weekend, and this is live footage right now. This helicopter warming up, ready to take flight. It's just been an amazing atmosphere here. I'm surprised that they're letting them play here. That helicopter's gonna be flying overhead in a moment. Linfield with a football from the 15 as we begin the 4th quarter. Hit as he throws. Wyatt Smith's pass is caught at the 10. The helicopter now is off the ground and up in the air, and we understand it will do a little sweep over the Pine Bowl here. Tell you what, it'd be nice if they were able to get a wind-aided, if you're trying to protect home field, if Linfield ends up lining up for a field goal, maybe you put that helicopter in the end zone.
I don't think I've ever seen this, a flyover in the middle of the action.
I wonder if they can feel it down on the field. It's probably about 30 yards up in the air. Back to the play on the field. Back in the end zone and incomplete. Brings up 2nd down.
Whitworth's defensive line is starting to get to Smith. We saw 1 sack in the 1st half, but in the 2nd half, the pass rush for Whitworth has taken another jump up in terms of intensity, and it's affected the passing game.
Andrew Mccoy back in the lineup after suffering a concussion against George Fox. Had a sack, 2 tackles for loss, forced fumble in his return, and he's been great here today too. On 2nd down, on the run, got rid of the football. Barely. There was a receiver in the vicinity. Boy, the rush has been there, Mike, after being almost non-existent in that 1st quarter.
Yeah, Smith has been under duress virtually the entire 2nd half.
That's Gunnar Swanek. As Mike mentioned, he had that 56-yard interception return for a touchdown. The defense pinning its ears back here. 3rd down and goal from the Pirate 10. Flicks it out on the flat, down to the 5, Artie Johnson. And now it's decision time for Linfield, and here comes the kicking team. Probably the right call.
Oh, I absolutely agree with this decision. You're early in the 4th quarter. Now, late in the 4th quarter, perhaps a bit different, but 4th and goal from the 5. 100% concur with Coach Smith and his decision to take your points. Now, it's a tough angle because you're way out on the left hash. This is not a gimme, but it is very makeable.
Colton Ramos off the left hash. This will be a 22-yard attempt. And it is good. And it's back to a one-touchdown ball game. 31-24 now the score. Those are some big points for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and in these conditions, the thing, and I was eyeballing, it's like, do you get a good snap, with the ball conditions? Do you get a catch and hold by the holder, and then it was just routine after that?
It just goes to show you, Mike, how much has to go right, though, on a field goal.
Yeah, and there's a lot.
To say nothing of laces out.
And to make it look routine, you're just perfectly executing.
It'll be Wong Lanzanita and Corona back to return for the Pirates.
And all those factors just look so easy, don't they?
Yeah. Now, does Linfield try anything here? Any kind of up kick, something like that? Or do you just go back to basics here?
Knowing Linfield in this program, they're typically we're just going to play straight up football, do our thing, and out execute you. So that's typically not something Linfield has done.
And right on cue, there's a kick to the 10. This is Wong Lanzanita. A little cut back there. He's got some room. 35-yard line is where he'll be down. Nice return by Wong Lanzanita. Senior from Nanakuli, Hawaii.
There's a pretty nice Polynesian and Hawaiian Islands connection between those islands and Whitworth Pirate football program.
And a sizable contingent rooting them on here today on Senior Day. 22 seniors, many of which from Hawaii. We'll cut back here for Corona. In fact, when the public address announcer was announcing where the players were from, when he said Hilo, Hawaii, you could hear quite a few family members saying, Hilo! Gain of 2 on that run, 2nd down and 8. Early in the 4th quarter. Pirates trying to sustain a drive here. Wong Lanzanita's return went for 26 yards, by the way. Option pitch there. Corona getting maybe a yard.
See, again, this is Linfield. They got their 3 points, which, keep in mind, 21 points all came in the first quarter. Whitworth has shut out Linfield in the 2nd and 3rd quarter. So now Linfield got some early 4th quarter points. Turn around. What happens if they get a 3 and out against this Whitworth offense? Game can change just like that. Snap of a finger.
Pirates facing a 3rd and 7. This from their own 38. We have not seen Isaiah Cole since he left with an injury. 3 down linemen. 5-man rush coming. Over the middle, caught at the 40. But short by 2 yards on the completion to Nick McGill. And here comes the kicking team for the Pirates. Big stop for Linfield.
Yeah, and you're outside the 50-yard line. Even if you're inside the 50, at this point in the game, you've got to punt away. The only time this can be four down territory is if Whitworth is on the Linfield 40-yard line and you're marching in. You just have to punt away and say, D, take over.
Chris Adamo, the return man for Linfield, inside their own 20. High spiraling kick. Fair caught at the 21. That's where Linfield will take over, trailing by 7. Hang on to your hats. The final 11-13 coming up for the Northwest Conference title. It's that time, folks. Linfield coming away with 3 points. Its last offensive possession has not found the end zone, though, since scoring 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. They can tie the game with a touchdown drive here.
And you can't see it on the TV screen, but there is still a drizzle coming down from Mother Nature.
Throwing on the run, caught underneath. That's Kolton Smith.
Well,
Colton's having himself a day.
Yeah, he is.
He's got 10 receptions
bro to bro. Now, you also notice there, instead of dropping back and sitting in the pocket, they rolled him out.
Yeah.
How do you
By
neutralize
design.
a rush? Yep, you start rolling out, buy a little time by getting out of the pocket.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6 from the 25. Artie Johnson is in the backfield in the pistol formation. He takes the carry up the middle, moves the pile 2 yards forward. Brings up 3rd down and about 4.
Johnson has been gritty, averaging about 4 yards a carry, and most of the time it's right up the middle, just a gap, either side of the center.
On 3rd down, throw on the sideline, caught in traffic. It was contested. Ian Black, the linebacker, on the coverage for the running back Johnson, who made the catch nonetheless. He knew a shot was coming. And that'll move the chains for Linfield.
Johnson has been a significant factor for this Linfield offense today, both running the ball and catching the ball in key situations, as we just saw in that last play.
Drive continues from their own 32. Whitworth sending 5, and Johnson right up the middle for 9. Up to the 41. They've been so good between the tackles here today, whether it's been on the run or on the shovel pass. Johnson now over 80 yards, near 90 rushing. Little improvise here. Didn't pick him up. Didn't see that Colton Chellen was bearing down on him. Didn't pick him up, and Chellen almost blew him up there.
Yeah, God, almost did. Mostly did. And he's lucky that wasn't a fumble, because you're right, Sam. I don't think he even saw that coming. His arm clearly in motion outside the pocket, getting hit. So if you're deemed the hit kept you from getting the ball beyond the line of scrimmage, that's why you didn't see a flag. But now they're talking it over, because the ball has to go beyond the line of scrimmage if you're out of bounds. Now, he got hit on the play, and it looks like this is more of a sideline warning. Because, again, by rule, if you're hit outside the pocket, falls incomplete, you don't have to get the ball beyond the line of scrimmage.
That brings them all the way back now to their own 34.
When you drop the flag and pick it up, that's a sideline warning. The ref didn't announce it, but you know that's what happened. There was a sideline warning against Linfield.
It's 3rd and 8 with 9.5 minutes to play. Can Whitworth generate some pass rush here? They do. On the run. Downfield, man, wide open inside the 30-yard line. Got up over the defense. The tight end, 87, left wide open, Jacob Kalo.
And a flag down back at the 25, which I did not see what the flag perhaps could be. We'll let the officials sort that out.
Well, personal foul, roughing the quarterback, number 95 in the defense. Results half the distance to the goal. And the end run, 1st down.
And there is a Pirate down in midfield too,
That's
Mike.
Mccoy.
Hard to tell there. And then here's a look at the hit. I mean, that's the rule.
Yes, it is.
I thought when he was moving around, 95 was, that I thought he was indicating hold, but his equipment had come out of the shoulder pad. All right, take a timeout. We're back after this. Linfield has the football, 1st and goal from the Pirate 10. Woodward really stacking the box here. Rush coming, shovel pass up the middle. Johnson into the end zone. Artie Johnson. They go to the well again on the shovel pass, and again they come up big, and they're a PAT away from tying up the Pirates.
That play has been money for Linfield all game long. Woodward defense has had virtually no answer for that particular play.
Artie Johnson, who already has 79 yards rushing, has now his second receiving touchdown on 8 receptions. The all-important extra point. Starkel's kick splits the uprights, and we've got ourselves a tie ball game, 31-31.
Well, for Linfield, after a 2-quarter drought of no points scored, has now come alive, and they've owned the 4th quarter. They've just got this down. The look off, not hurried. Timing is superb. And you get that heavy outside pass rush. What's open? The A-gap right up the middle. Shovel and run.
And I think Artie Johnson makes it look a lot easier than it is. That not every running back can catch the ball out of the backfield, and the shovel pass especially, not the easiest thing in the world to catch, especially when you know you're right in the eye of the storm.
Yeah, and he's unfazed because, I mean, you're in the fray in there. You're among all those big boys, and that's not normal as a running back. You're used to having the ball in your hands and head forward. In that case, your back's to him, but he's so subtle in how he does that.
31-31. 9 minutes and change to play. Long Lanzanita from the 8s for the Pirates up to the 20. Hurdles defender. Down at the 25. Pirate offense now looking for an answer and an opportunity to retake the lead.
This looks and feels every bit what this is made out to be, and that is 2 heavyweights predicted to be 1 and 2 in the conference, slugging it out tied up here in the 4th quarter. And it is physical, and it is stepping up a notch in terms of intensity.
Corona slips out of the backfield to throw over the middle. Caught right on the first down marker. 9 yards and 10 yards. It will move the chains on the catch. So a reception by Taylor Hall moves the chains. From the 35 now. Little stutter step by Corona, gains 1. Great crowd on hand for this one. They've brought the energy the entire time.
Both these offenses are built around the pass. Conditions aside, I still believe this game is going to be won through the air, and you just need to try to eke out any bit of respectability in your running game. Just keep the defense off balance and honest.
Leif Erickson from the shotgun. Quick throw underneath, gets the receiver at the 40-yard line, down at the 41. And another reception made by Hall.
Momentum clearly shifted Linfield in the 4th quarter. Whitworth offensively needs to convert right here. They can't afford to punt away.
3rd down, 4 yards to go. As Erickson gets the call in from the sideline, there's still 15 on the play clock.
This is a momentum play we're about to watch.
Erickson checks, high throw, reception made. Another grab by Hall, who has been the go-to on this drive.
And when I say momentum, the fans for Whitworth, here, this home crowd, they are excited in the game. It maintains the momentum rather than giving it up and back to Linfield, who has owned the 4th quarter momentum here.
Corona wrapped up in the backfield. Ray Thomas in on the stop. Thomas, who has 5 sacks and now 8.5 tackles for loss on the season. This is a defense that surrendered 5.6 points per game in its last 3, surrendering 31 points thus far against the Pirates, though, of course, 7 of those came on a pick 6. Loss of 2, 2nd down and 12. Erickson out of the shotgun. He's got time. Over the middle, easy catch made and run. And a first down depending on the spot.
It may be coming back. There is a flag on the 40-yard line right in the middle of the fray. And Sam, I believe this one is coming back.
Holding number 78 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, second down.
Relatively clean game for Whitworth, but that penalty is a big one.
Whitworth has been worst in the league in terms of penalties against, but today they've been very clean.
Wipes out a play that would have gotten them the first down to Andrew Meredith.
Linfield has been the more penalized team today. A bit of a role reversal from what's played out over the course of the season.
5 penalties for the Pirates now, 7 for Linfield. Play action on the run. Had to get rid of it, had to hurry. The pressure was coming. Was getting chased down from behind by Tony Kraus.
Yeah, Kraus virtually untouched, if not completely untouched, coming off that back edge.
6 minutes and 16 seconds to play, and it's a 3rd and 22. You dial up the screen. What do you like here, Mike?
The pressure, Linfield's showing a 3-man rush. You're really rolling the dice in these conditions, go down the field. You're probably trying to get something over the middle, maybe intermediate, about 15, 20 yards. Hope you can muster a first down.
Contested throw, and it's incomplete. Erickson had to hurry it, got the ball out, and now the punting unit comes on.
And Erickson was under pressure again, as both quarterbacks have been. And
I think he might have taken a shot as he got rid of the football too, Mike.
That's what happened on his follow-through. What I saw, his forearm came down like on a shoulder pad or a helmet, and that's a bit of a stinger.
So he's kind of wringing that out right now, as you can see on the sideline.
Yeah, that hit the nerves and go right down through your fingertips.
Alejado is here to punt for Whitworth. So Noah Alejado to punt, gets it away. Little knuckler. Fair caught at the 30. Linfield with the football with 6:05 to play in regulation. 31-31. We're back after this. Trying to score again in a tie ball game. 31-31. A win gives them the Northwest Conference title here this afternoon in Spokane. Over the middle, it's the tight end. And Kalo makes the grab. Smith is nearing 400 yards passing.
Kalo approaching 100 yards receiving.
Drive continues from their own 41. Play action underneath, it was underthrown. Just a little brother, Colton Smith, out of McMinnville.
It's been his favorite target today in terms of receptions. He's been targeted a lot. 10 catches on the day.
And that might be his first incomplete.
That
might be 11 targets, or 12, I should say, now. 2nd down and 10. Empty backfield. 385 yards for Wyatt Smith. And they almost had a pick. Kale Wong got a hand on it.
So
holding that right arm, Mike.
Yeah, so well defended. And Wong, he does what he does all the time. Flies all over the field. That's that senior experience. Reading, you see the footwork, reading the play, and instantaneously stopping, cutting, and making a break on the ball. That could have been picked.
It's getting rowdy here in the Pine Bowl on 3rd down. Smith under duress, flag in the area of holding. He's brought down, and the Pirate defense holds. Gunnar Swanek in on it.
And I don't think there's any decision here if indeed it's holding against
Holding,
Linfield.
number 78 in the offense. That penalty is declined, 4th down.
Well, I guess there is a decision to be technically correct, but there's no decision in terms of accepting the penalty after a sack. It's 4th down, away you go. And look at the pressure and the pursuit.
Yeah, there's the hold, pretty clear. There's Swanek. Hunter Swanek. Between him and Kali Wong. Got Andrew Mccoy on the line.
I just love how the intensity is picked up on both sides and with the fans here in this fourth quarter.
Kolsten calls for a fair catch at the 27 with 5:17 to play. And you can hear a buzz around the Pine Bowl right now. Anticipation, excitement.
Everything you work all off season for and the grind of the season, and Sam, it's coming down to these last 5 minutes here.
And Mike, I can remember days where Linfield would come to town and take over the crowd a little bit. Whoever is here has been drowned out by the Pirate faithful this afternoon. From the 27. 8 yards on the pickup. And now the pile moving forward. Look at that energy from the Pirates. Nick McGill got popped, went backwards. His teammates had him, pushed him forward to pick up the first down.
This is one. Both teams are bringing out the best in each other. It's a heavyweight hit, a fight off, a push down the field. My goodness, are these teams getting after it, Sam?
Fresh set of downs from their own 40. Kolsten with the catch at midfield, and they're into Linfield territory at the 48.
Erickson showing no effects of that stinger to the hand and forearm he took on that last drive. He is throwing darts right now.
Erickson now over 250 yards passing. 4.5 minutes to play. Run it out of the pistol set formation. Incomplete. Overthrew Kolsten, but that might actually be a good missed throw, because if that's on the money, that might get picked.
It could have been. That ball got away from Erickson a little bit. I think he might have been a little amped up, throwing the ball, hurried, had all that momentum because he was so fired up on that previous throw.
Second down and 10. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to play.
So as a quarterback, you want to see the emotion, but you can't get too amped up because it can affect your throwing mechanics.
Low snap. Quick throw out to Corona. Corona got in the bear trap there as Trev Earhart got a mid on him. Short yardage.
And that bear trap did not release.
3rd and 9. In a tie ball game. Inside of the final 4 minutes.
And another big 3rd down.
Five on the play clock. Erickson, all sorts of time lobs, went over the middle, it's dropped. Taylor Hall had it right on the number.
Just couldn't corral it. Ball was on the money. We know the conditions a little slick, but very catchable. I mean, that's going to go in the books as a drop. Erickson put it right there.
Alejado on a punt for the Pirates.
And Linfield wins yet another fourth quarter battle against this Whitworth offense.
Adamo, the return man, back at the Wildcat 10. End over end kick, and this one sails out of bounds. It's not necessarily a good punt. We'll see where it went out of bounds on the spot.
Looks to me around the 20 or so.
On the 20. On the 20. Linfield has 2 timeouts remaining. 3 minutes, 25 seconds to play in regulation. 35 points combined between Linfield and Whitworth in the first quarter. Whitworth, the only point scored in the second quarter. It was tied up at 21-21 at halftime. Then the Pirates surged with a 10-point outburst in the third to take its biggest lead at 10. But Linfield answered with 10 more here in the fourth, and that's where we stand with 3 minutes and 25 seconds to play.
If you're Linfield, 3.5 minutes to go. You've got both teams 2 timeouts left. Ideally, if you're Linfield, you don't necessarily want a quick score. You'll take it, but you'd love to burn some clock and then get those points on the board later.
Play action rollout on the turf and incomplete.
And this is where it could affect some play calling as well late in the game. Incomplete on first down. Whitworth also has 2 timeouts left. You're pinned deep in your territory. You throw another incompletion here, 3rd and 10. Again, decision time. Do you want to stop that clock? Give Whitworth the ball back with pretty good field position with about 3 minutes on the clock. So it's critical Linfield at least gets 1 first down on this drive. Otherwise, advantage back to Whitworth.
Final game for these seniors here at the Pine Bowl. Digging deep here. Smith under duress, up in the pocket and on the run. He gains 6. Up to the 26-yard line.
I expect Linfield to slow the pace a bit. 28 seconds on the play clock. And I think they'll use every bit of it. This is really good clock management, because if you get the first down, you still have plenty of time left. If you don't, you want to take time off the clock against your opponent.
3rd down, 4 to go, 10 on the game clock, 10 on the play clock, excuse me. Out of the shotgun. Smith back to pass, looks downfield, he's going to take a shot. Intercepted! Zach Hillman, the senior, makes the grab, and the Pirates have the ball back. Wyatt Smith, who had come into the contest with 3 interceptions thrown all season, is picked off for a 3rd time.
That is Smith trying to do too much. Not enough arm, not enough grip on the ball, and almost like a desperation throw into double coverage. And look at that great play by Hillman.
Lob over the middle, caught towards midfield at the 48-yard line. Andrew Meredith with the grab. 2 minutes, 18 seconds to play. Pirates running the 2-minute offense with 2 timeouts remaining.
And you have your X factor, Alejado, who's got 50-yard range in his leg, is one heck of a field goal kicker. Field goal wins.
Out on the screen, Meredith again. I don't know how much more daylight we have here, Mike.
There's no lights here, so Mother Nature may not allow us to go to overtime.
Yeah. We're just saying. Minute and 40 seconds. Season on the line for the Pirates. There's no at-large bid waiting Whitworth this year. They have to win the Northwest Conference to go to the Division III playoffs. A win today would put them in the driver's seat for the Northwest Conference title. Pass sails out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, this is a big 3rd down. Again, all these 3rd downs have been big. Both teams. I've been saying that all 4th quarter, but it's true. Every 3rd down incrementally gets bigger and bigger. If Whitworth doesn't convert here, they're going to have to punt away and give the ball back to Linfield. If Whitworth does convert, they're knocking on the door of field goal range.
8 yards to go.
Whitworth is 2 first downs away from field goal range.
Erickson with the rush coming is brought down. They dialed up the pressure on a cornerback blitz. He gets sacked at the 40-yard line.
And Linfield, from a clock management, because we didn't like the clock management at the end of the first half, wisely used their 2nd timeout right at the end of that sack.
It was 44 on the stop. Travis Swanson, the defensive end, But it was that cornerback blitz being dialed up that took some of the heat off of him and allowed him to get the sack. My goodness. Big time play call, big time execution by Linfield.
Just pinning the ears back and saying, get in there and find a way to get to Erickson. And indeed they did.
And Mike, if that play does not go for a sack, you at least consider 4-down territory. And here that takes that off the table.
Well, yeah, what would have been very interesting, let's say it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and you're sitting there on about the 43, 44 yard line. Yeah, indeed, that is 4-down territory in my opinion, but not now, not after that sack.
Chris Adamo, the return man at the 20.
You know, we've not seen much in terms of punt return yardage because the punters have been so good with their hang time.
Alejado's punt, spiraling punt to the 20 and a fair catch. So a minute and 6 to play in a tie ball game. Linfield is down to its final timeout.
If you are looking at the line of scrimmage for a field goal target line based on conditions and what I've seen, Linfield needs to get to about that 30-yard line of Whitworth.
That would put it at a 45-yard attempt.
So 50 yards in 1 minute with 1 timeout. That's what Linfield needs to do.
They'll be turning to Wyatt Smith, who's had a fantastic season. He's already thrown for 385 yards and 4 scores tonight, but he has also been intercepted 3 times. Shovel pass, they go to the well one too many times. As Whitworth finally figures out a way to sniff that one out. Ian Black, the junior linebacker, on the stop.
That's huge for Whitworth because it burns time off the clock. That's the equivalent of a running play. Linfield with only 1 timeout left. A lot of clock's been burned. This is a free play. They're calling it dead ball, unabated the quarterback.
McCoy had jumped offside on the end, number 3.
The question is, was he drawn or not?
Maybe that's what the officials are discussing right now, Mike.
Yeah, it's big discussion, big decision.
Well, you can hear a pin drop right now inside this Pine Bowl.
You know, based on the reaction of both teams, it looks like Whitworth is going to get the penalty.
Offside on the defense. Number 3 caused the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty. Made 2nd down. Clock will start on the snap.
Well explained, and nothing other than the visual evidence to support what the official just discussed. Thank you for that explanation, Mr. Referee.
That turns it into a 2nd down and 7. Linfield has the ball at its own 23. The officials still, I don't know if this is a clock timing thing that they're discussing right now, because they said they'll start the clock on the whistle.
It's called the ready for play because it was well, not a running, it was a passing play, but anyway, the clock was not stopped on the previous play. Therefore, the ready for play, the clock will start again.
With the sun setting, here's Johnson, who has been electric here today for Linfield, both in the running game and in the shovel pass game.
And he's getting featured here, as he has been all afternoon, and managing to get himself out of bounds and save that timeout.
3rd down and 3. Pirates make a stop here. I don't think there's any question. Linfield punts.
Absolutely agree.
Five on the play clock. Whitworth with a 3-man rush. Johnson up the middle and room to run. Finally stood up at the 45-yard line. What a run from Artie Johnson.
He's my player of the game for Linfield if they
That's
win.
an 18-yard gain. And they spike the football, stop the clock, 25 seconds to play, and Linfield still with a timeout.
Yeah, 25 seconds, and by my estimation, 25 yards to go. So can Linfield go 25 yards in 25 seconds minimum to get in at least makeable field goal range and try to win this game in regulation? Anything beyond that, you're overachieving.
Johnson next to Smith in the backfield. 3 down linemen for Whitworth, a 3-man rush. Smith downfield, has a man at the 40.
Yeah, you've got to ground the ball here.
Keegan Weiss with the reception. They'll clock it here with 16 seconds. 5 yards will put him in field goal range. 10 yards to be safe.
It could be makeable, you're right, because you tack on 17 yards to the line of scrimmage. If he's at the 35, that's a 52-yard field goal. That is probably right on the cusp of field goal range.
No wind to speak of from either end. 16 seconds to play. Northwest Conference title hanging in the balance between Whitworth and Linfield. Smith, shovel pass, brought down at the line, behind the line for a loss of 4. Linfield now takes a timeout with 9 seconds to play, and my goodness, that might have been a title-saving tackle right there.
That was all Mccoy, and we featured him as an impact player, and was that an impact play where he drove quickly off the line of scrimmage. He spun and blew up that shovel pass that Linfield has used all game long.
Wow, he single-handedly just got a hand on him and threw him down.
I mean, that is Mccoy, and if we get another look at McCoy, bottom of the screen. Look at this effort. He comes in, spins, goes low, and blows up this play. Leaves Linfield with no timeouts left. Linfield's got to do a Hail Mary because there is not perhaps enough time to get about a
you get a sideline play,
10
but
to 15
that's
yard
hard to
out.
develop that long. That's dangerous.
It's decision time. Do you try to do a quick out? At minimum, you've got to pick up about 10 yards here. So it's not necessarily a quick out. That's 5-step drop from a timing perspective. So the 3-step drop route's not going to help you here. This is going to be Hail Mary or an intermediate out route.
Here we go. 10 seconds to play, and a timeout taken by the Pirates. Can't take them with you. Well, the Pirates right now are playing for overtime. Linfield's playing for the Northwest Conference title right here.
Unbelievable game. Oh, this is not disappointed. When I said in the open, this is one of these games I go through and I circled the calendar on key games in the Inland Northwest. That was
and it did
multiple circles around that, baby.
But Mike, the way Whitworth had played in the last few weeks and the way that Linfield has steamrolled the competition in the Northwest Conference, it looked like a mismatch. Linfield jumped out to the early lead, led 21-7 at one point. But Whitworth really digging deep and showing that, hey, look, not so fast. We're the defending conference champions, and last year was no fluke.
With 24 unanswered points, and what does Linfield do? They come back in the fourth quarter and do 10 unanswered to knot us at 31-31. Sam, here we go.
Conference title on the line right here. 10 seconds to play from the 44. Smith, the deep drop. They're going for it all down the sideline. Incomplete with 5 seconds. So now it truly is. You've got to either do a hook and ladder or you've got to take a shot at the end zone. I guess the question is, does Smith have the arm strength to do it?
I was just going to comment. I don't see, and in these conditions, I don't see the arm strength for Smith to throw it 50 yards into the end zone, 50 plus, under duress. I'm thinking hook and ladder, catch and start pitching the ball away. I don't see him getting the ball in the end zone here.
Whitworth has 3 defenders at the goal line. Heave into the end zone, up in the air, and incomplete. and we have bonus football.
And case in point, even if that ball was caught, you're on the 5-yard line. Just not quite enough arm. That sack by McCoy, I guess it's not a sack, it's more a tackle for loss, but off that shovel pass, completely took the Hail Mary off the table. And here we are, OT. Fitting.
Overtime football for the two front runners for the conference title. Here's another look, Mike, at the play. It was a good throw.
I mean, that's all the arm you have. With a little wobble, you're just not getting maximum distance. And there you have it, 5-yard line. And now a question, too, is Mother Nature going to be a factor? What do we do if because of darkness we can't get this game completed? Is
it time to start bringing in the cars from the parking lot and turn the headlights on and point them into the end zone?
It may be.
Now to consider here now, Mike, we will have a coin flip and we will have a discussion about the overtime rules. Who's going to get the ball first and which direction will you go?
Well, who gets the ball first is going to be predicated on the coin toss. Yep. So whoever wins the coin toss gets the choice.
And then they will have the decision, too, of which direction, which end zone you want to play in.
Exactly. And typically here, you win the coin toss. If here's Whitworth won the coin toss, you're going to defer because you want the ball second because both teams will get a chance to score.
I'd assume you want to go on the screen left, right? Because at least you have some light emitting from the scoreboard.
And that is where the sun does set, kind of to the west at this time of year, in the northwest to the south.
So here we go.
Yeah.
We'll be going in that direction.
That's good call, Sam.
And Linfield will have the ball to start. Now remember, field goals, it's not sudden death. That each team will get an opportunity. So Linfield will have the first chance. And I remember the first time I saw this overtime rule, I believe it was about 1996 or so. And it was brand new to me. And pretty simple rules, though. You'll start at the 25-yard line. The offense will have the football and points to be had. But here's the thing. Then Whitworth will get the ball back and an opportunity to equal what Linfield does or surpass. So if Linfield gets a field goal or a touchdown, Whitworth will then have the opportunity as well. And then if they end up tied through the first overtime, they'll do it again a second overtime, so on and so forth.
But flip-flop, who gets the ball first? And those that want to Google or Bing this, Kansas City tiebreaker was the original OT formula.
Incomplete on the first down attempt. And the numbers, how about Wyatt Smith? 398 yards passing. Though again, three interceptions thrown equals his season total coming in.
Yes. And a couple of those passing touchdowns, I don't want to take anything away from Smith's effort because he's had a very nice game today. But shovel screens behind the line of scrimmage, and the rest is Johnson. Johnson's carried the ball a ton today.
Delayed handoff. Mccoy on the stop for the loss of one.
Impact players tend to make impact in the most key of moments. So there's McCoy shooting through as he's done all year. Tackles for loss, sacks. Took Linfield out of field goal range in regulation.
Third down and 11 to go. Pistol formation. Whitworth with a four-man front. They send three. Throw to the sideline. On the sideline, and they say caught. Caught inside the 15-yard line.
Solid throw, but that is a fabulous catch. Fabulous catch by the receiver, number 27, Keegan Weiss.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, laid out.
First and 10 from the Pirate 11 in this first overtime. Rolling out, throws, caught at the 5. Weiss with another catch. Or excuse me, this was 87, the tight end, Kalo.
Getting tougher to see. It's dusky.
On TV, we're able to alter the cameras to make it look lighter than it really is. We're about 30 minutes away from being in darkness out here. No lights to turn on, but everybody's home. Second down. Johnson up the middle on the draw, and he's down at the 3.
And Linfield can still get a first down. So 3rd and about 1 with this ball here on the 3-yard line. So even if Linfield comes up short, 1 yard, they have a first down.
Up the middle, looks like they've got first down yardage.
Yeah.
Linfield saying they have a touchdown. It's spotted at the goal line.
Yeah, they'll be inside the 1. Look at the initial spot by the officials. He got his 1 yard and then some. Look, I love it. Look at the steam coming off the players. The condensation, the steam as nighttime is settling in here.
Now, on the sideline, they have not indicated, they have not changed it down in distance.
They have now.
It's 4th down. No, it should be first down. It should be first down and goal. The indication on the sideline, now they have changed it. First down and goal from the 1. Johnson on the carry. It's a foot race. Knocked out of bounds. Zach Hillman playing his final game here at the Whitworth Pine Bowl with a big stop there.
Hillman with that big interception at the end of the 4th quarter. Look at that hit. Yeah, that perhaps could have been a late hit out of bounds by number 87 as well. Lucky a flag wasn't thrown there.
It's Charlie Ball adding the exclamation mark.
Yeah, exclamation.
2nd and goal from the 2. They send Smith in motion, rolling his way. Wyatt now trying to win a foot race, lobs it up the back of the end zone, receiver wide open, touchdown. Colton Smith makes the grab as Linfield has stunned the crowd here inside the field house. Inside the Pine Bowl, excuse me. The score getting up there to feel like a basketball game, but 37-31.
And now 16 unanswered points for Linfield in the 4th quarter going here into overtime. We started the game with Smith to Smith. Will we end the game with Smith to Smith? Can Whitworth answer?
Very important point after coming. This one is good. 38-31. So Whitworth, 3 points will not be enough. The Pirates have to score a touchdown as we have another look. Great job here by Smith.
Just stringing the play out and just a nice little toss.
He had 3 receivers in the vicinity and 1 defender. He had drawn that much attention on that run.
So who do you go to? Your brother.
Backyard football.
That's exactly what that play was. By time, roll out, Sandlot football. Whitworth's turn.
Whitworth with the football, needing a touchdown. Leif Erickson fakes the handoff out of the pocket. Looking downfield, he's going to take a shot in the end zone right here. Back of the end zone and incomplete. It was intended for McGill. He got a hand on it. No flags.
You wonder as a receiver how difficult it is to pick up the ball now. And it is dusky. And Sam, as you said, we've adjusted the lighting with our production crew, but it's dark.
I mean, if you're playing golf right now, you're playing with a the dark neon green, neon yellow golf ball. There's no such luxury here. Erickson throws underneath, caught by Corona. Corona to the 20 as he picks up 5.
Well, and this is the reason if you win the toss in overtime, you take the ball second so you know what you're dealing with. Because it's all 4 down territory for Whitworth here.
That's something to consider here, Mike. The run could be on the table here.
Which is why I bring it up. It's 3rd and 5. 4th and 1 is still manageable. You just don't want a big negative yardage play now and dig yourself a hole if you're Whitworth.
Corona now out running.
And that ball was just off the mark. It is really hard to see.
And as you see, McGill needing the towel, wiping off the gloves. Hard to hang on to the ball. Comes down to this. Season on the line for the Pirates. Linfield a stop away from winning the Northwest Conference title right here in Spokane. 4th down and 4 here in the first overtime. A timeout taken. And it's Linfield taking the timeout.
Now Whitworth has a timeout left, so as we're playing cat and mouse here, Whitworth could perhaps roll out a dummy formation on offense, throw some twist at Linfield, call a timeout, and then come back with a counter play or alignment with Linfield having no timeouts left. It could be cat and mouse.
Well, it's been a couple top dogs scoring off here today. Linfield entering the night 5-0 in conference. Whitworth with 1 loss. And it's these two teams playing for the Northwest Conference title today/tonight. Linfield will win the conference title outright with a stop here on 4th down. Whitworth, if it's able to take it to a second overtime and eventually win, would need a win in its season finale as well to wrap up its second straight Northwest Conference title.
And Whitworth is at Pacific, who is a good, solid, middle of the division team, middle of the conference team next week.
4th down and 4 to go. Pirates need to convert. Erickson, incomplete, turnover on downs, and Linfield, your 2019 Northwest Conference champions. Celebration here at midfield as the Wildcats rally back from 10 points down in the third, send the game to overtime, and then win in the first OT, 38-31 your final.
What a matchup and what a battle here in the Pine Bowl.
Well, there are so many special players. That you talk about Wyatt Smith throwing for 421 yards and 5 touchdowns. But Mike, you look at the performance by Artie Johnson, 97 yards rushing, and how many times they go to him on the shovel pass. Artie Johnson, 2 receiving touchdowns, 56 receiving yards. He is our player of the game, sponsored by your local Kubota dealers, Coeur d'Alene Tractor, Adams Tractor, and Boundary Tractor. Congratulations, Artie Johnson. He was the difference maker this afternoon and evening for Linfield.
And I want to give a congratulations to both these teams, starting with head coach Smith of Linfield and head coach Sanford for Whitworth. They gave us one heck of a game. Thank you so much for this enjoyment today, and congratulations to Linfield, Northwest Conference champs.
Well, that noise you hear right now down on the field is Linfield, a very vocal unit that has returned to the top of the Northwest Conference after a 1-year hiatus, after Whitworth ended that stranglehold and beat the Wildcats for the first time in 11 years. Linfield, your 2019 Northwest Conference champions, as they win in overtime, 38-31. Folks, that's a wrap here, but we invite you to stay tuned because in about 30 minutes, we're going to take you inside the kennel. We've got Gonzaga men's basketball putting their number 8 national ranking on the line. What a season it has been for the Whitworth Pirates. They are dethroned as conference champions, but nothing to hang their heads about. Some defensive plays made against one of the most efficient and electric offenses you're going to find in college football. Just 2 heavyweights going toe-to-toe. For Mike Peterson, I'm Sam Adams saying so long from the Pine Bowl. Whitworth and Linfield, a thriller in Spokane. Wildcats reign supreme. They are your conference champs.